Christo Fufas on Talk Radio.
Otherwise, well, that's discriminating against people who can't dance, isn't it?
Talking of which,
I can dance.
He's the best. He's the best dancer on Talk Radio.
Thank you. You should see me and Julia Hartley-Brewer doing the Electric Boogaloo.
Wow. Well, I've got a very good hip wiggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have to, don't you? To
I saw you
for access.
I don't know what that means, but
There's no reason you should.
For access to the studio.
Sure, why not?
For access.
That's what you call it.
That's not what he meant. Yeah.
That's your euphemism. Do you want to come in my studio?
Do some jingles. Do some body popping.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a very big audience for that studio as well. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, yes.
That is the voice of Iain Lee. I have been a mere warm-up act for this man, and now he is here with the late night alternative. What are you discussing?
We've got Paul Danan coming in.
Have you?
Yeah, we've got Paul Danan coming in.
Dangerous Danan?
Yeah, I sort of know him a little bit, but I don't know him brilliantly, so he's going to come in and we're going to talk drugs.
Do you know what I'm interested in him as well is the original, because he was in the original Celebrity Love Island. Do you remember?
He was, yeah.
And that was before
Strange
it
old
went
program,
absolutely insane and became what it is now.
It was Celebrity Love Island, yeah.
And with Abby Titmuss, I think she was in it.
Abby Titmuss.
Oh, Abby
And
Titmuss.
Callum Best, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird old time. We'll just, Crystal, we're just going to chew the fat tonight.
Ask him about, I think he took out Tony Soprano once, who was over here. You know, what's his real, Gandolfini?
He took out Gandalf, from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, because he was in The Sopranos, and
was Paul Danan was not in The Sopranos?
No, Paul Danan, they asked him to take out Tony Soprano around London.
Well, I mean, we can't just end on that story.
So
ask him about it. It's got a great story. Probably can't say it on the radio though, but it's interesting.
Well, that's going to be coming up next. Ash, thank you very much
Thanks,
indeed.
Ash.
Iain Lee, thank you.
Thank you,
Coming
Christo.
up next, you can enter my studio anytime. Coming up next, it is, of course.
Is that a euphemism?
I've got a fob.
It absolutely is. Coming up, it is Iain Lee, and of course,
that Christo gave me
permanent residence.
Just swipe it.
All of that coming next. I'm back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, keeping the seat warm for James. Once again, Iain Lee and Kath coming up next. Here
about that James thing
on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Catherine has been fired for being racially insensitive and homophobic. Catherine Boyle will not be part of the show anymore. Please welcome my new co-host, is Paul Danan. Good evening, Paul.
Hi, Iain. How are you?
I'm fine, Paul. Now, I may not be doing this show for much longer, and I'll tell you why.
What?
I'm embarking on a musical career. And I would like to play you a song that I wrote yesterday during the show.
Wow.
Improvise it. And I'm doing all the parts.
You're so talented.
Thank you. Another reason we sacked Cass. She wouldn't say that. So we're just going to turn the microphones off so we can hear it in the studio. This is my song from last night.
Oh, baby, I wanna love you so much. Oh, baby, I wanna hold you again. Oh, baby, will you marry me tonight? Oh, baby, let's make love.
There you go. Nice and straightforward. It goes round again. That's it. I wrote that myself, improvised it. I'm doing all the parts, 4-track, myself.
I mean, I'm in shock.
I've thrown this at you. You weren't expecting this.
I'm usually never stuck for words.
Yeah. Let it sink in.
I mean, the production.
Isn't it?
Could be.
Isn't it? It's amazing, isn't it though?
It's. You know, it needs a little bit of work.
Okay, constructive criticism I can take. But what you just said was rude.
What was the reason for it?
Sorry?
The reason.
Here's the thing, Paul.
We don't need a reason.
Well, unlike you, actors who get told where to stand and what to say and how to feel, I'm a true artist.
You are.
I'm free.
Yeah.
So I just make it when the muse grabs me by the cojones and says, make something. It's like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll make something now.
I mean, I felt it. I felt the ad-libbing. I felt the kind of riffing.
Yeah.
I could see you at Ronnie Scott's, to be honest.
Wow, thank you very much
Maybe for one night only.
I'll tell you why I did it. Because, you get those show-offs that will go on stage and they have like a box. And so then they go, and then they hit the button on the box and then it loops it. Yeah. And they just loop over the
Ed
top.
Sheerans of the world.
Yeah, show-offs like that guy. I just wanted to show that I could do it.
Yeah.
How would you describe yourself, Paul Danan?
I would describe myself as quite happy-go-lucky, you know, people's person. But, you know, there's been times where I haven't been so happy-go-lucky.
Well, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Can I ask you anything tonight?
Anything.
And the same goes, the same goes to me.
This is a
you can ask me
free-for-all.
anything, right? And we know more.
Yes, we're having it large.
I consider you a friend.
You are, mate.
But I don't know you very well.
No.
But yet also I know the
Let's
small
do it in
bits
front of millions.
Well, this is it. The small bits I know.
The story
I know
of my life.
I know some really intimate stuff about you.
Yeah, I don't want it to be doom and gloom. We don't have to go like too. But you know, you can ask me anything, Ian.
Catherine's back. That sacking didn't last very long.
I like Catherine.
She's alright, isn't she? So Catherine is...
What have you been saying about me?
Nothing.
There's something about her that's really nice.
The way you used to do the shape of a bum with your hand. That was really nice. What did you do that? Catherine produces the show and she co-hosts the show.
She's amazing.
She's the boss.
She is.
Basically.
Yeah.
But I was right. So okay, the same goes to me. You can ask me anything, right?
Yeah.
And Catherine knows where all my bodies are buried.
Because we've been waiting to do this for a while now.
For ages.
You know, and that's the good thing about us is like we keep our word, but even if it's a year later, it doesn't matter.
I was trying to work out where we first met.
Yeah, I mean,
was it on Celebrity Soup? You never came on to Rise with me, did you? Breakfast show I did.
I probably did.
Neither of us would remember that period. That was a little bit frosty.
But I mean, I remember when they turned it to Rise, actually, and I like, maybe not, Ian.
I don't think you came on Rise, but you came on Celebrity Soup, I think, a few times.
Yeah.
Which was a show I did on E.
Yeah.
That no one saw.
Yeah, I remember that.
You and John McCurrick were the...
Oh God!
Kind of standard guests that we had.
I know he was hard to.
I mean,
he's all right.
He's dead now.
Yeah,
but I liked him. I liked him a lot. But I understand why people didn't like him. I always got on very, very well with John, actually. But I can understand. People would find him.
How much of it was an act?
Well, that's it. I mean,
I don't know if it was. He was.
Actually, I don't know if it was. I think he just didn't really care.
I think so.
You know, that's just him. And his wife stood by him, didn't she?
The booby.
Yeah, that's it.
That was at the booby. But I always got on really, really well with him. Last time I saw him was at a Big Brother thing and he looked awful. And I went and said, you're right.
Well, do you remember, Liquid News?
Yeah, of course I do. They promised that show to me, but then they gave it to Richard Bacon,
No, before Richard. Remember that it was the,
Christopher.
Yeah, Christopher, yeah.
Passed away, didn't he?
So he was a good friend of mine.
Was he really? I loved him. He was such a nice bloke.
And he literally had me on nearly every night. It was amazing, because
what was his last name?
The money was decent. And
it was like 500 quid or something, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was something. And this is like 15, maybe 20 years ago.
And I'd be like, honestly, like, Paul, you about again? I'm like, yeah, right. Like, you know, literally... Most nights I'd be on it with Vernon Kay or that guy from Heat magazine.
Boyd Hilton?
No, not Boyd, the other one.
The contempt in your voice, not Boyd!
No, the other one, Mark, oh God.
I hosted it a few times with Claudia Winkleman.
But anyway, and he just loved the fact that I had no idea what they were on about when they got a bit intellectual.
Yeah.
And not that I'm a thicko or anything like that, but I just kind of wasn't quite, they just found me funny without me even realising I was funny, and they just kind of took the piss a bit, but
no, you can say piss,
really.
But was there? Because there is. I think when we got you on,
but I don't think it was that.
What?
We met.
I remember when we got you on Celebrity Soup. It was a little bit to take the piss, and I feel a lot of my career, 11 o'clock show and stuff, was taking the mickey out of people, and I've had to kind of come to terms with a lot of what I've done in the past was mean TV. And I did actually want to ask you what it felt like. There was a period when, like you say, with Celebrity...
There was a prank show that maybe you were part of, actually, that I did. I don't know if I got... When a woman in the street, and I had to kind of... And there was a guy with a guitar, and then someone smashed it up, and some girl was an actor, but someone smeared a load of shit on her...
you can't say that.
Can't say that.
No.
A load of poo on her back. I'm really sorry, listeners.
It's ain't the Dan Woodson show. We've got standards.
No, you have. And, but maybe you were you part of prank shows?
No, the 11 o'clock show had a pranky element, but it wasn't. No, that sounds a bit like Balls of Steel or something.
It was similar to that, but it wasn't quite that. But we just knew each other but it was Celebrity Soup, definitely.
Yeah.
But anyway, then we were on Sam Delaney's show, news thing, for quite a few times.
Russia Today.
Yeah, love it.
How did you feel about taking the ruble from Putin? Did you feel guilty about that?
Little bit.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
But I had much pleasure in beating up Blobby. Mr. Blobby.
Oh, I was there when you beat up Mr. Blobby. They got Blobby, actual Blobby came in.
I mean, I wasn't having any of it.
But I
jumped on his back.
You hurt him.
Literally.
Well, here's the thing, he jumps on Blobby's back, and the poor bloke in there, who's been doing it for years, obviously can't see anything. And he went down.
Dangerous.
He went down.
He went down,
And I
carried on.
It's making... It hurt him. He actually beat up Blobby and the bloke that played Blobby.
Yeah.
What are you
I
doing
didn't
now?
know it was a real person under there.
Of course there's a real person under there. It's one of the worst
Did he was Blobby all the way through?
Listen, I believe things like that.
What are you doing now?
I'm doing a lot of stuff actually. Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
I just played
it.
No, I just played it's funny actually, it's quite ironic. I just played a narcotics detective for the NCA.
Is this the thing you were doing the other day?
Yeah.
I phoned him up, I WhatsApped him, FaceTimed him, whatever. And he's there, he's got like a police lanyard, and there's a police on. I thought he'd been nicked.
No, I was a proper detective. With Gary Webster from Minder.
Oh yeah.
And Kim Tilley from The Bill, and they're quite used to doing like those police kind of roles, and for me it's like, it was a first. Usually I'm fighting them.
Yeah.
Or being arrested by them, either as a character
or in real life. Yeah.
And so it was really interesting, and it's a new crime drama called Moreland's Firm.
Who's this for?
Well, hopefully for Netflix.
Right.
They're really interested in it, but it's a
where it's all
pilot,
at,
and it's but they got some good actors in it, and it's for Northeast Films, which is like, based up in Tyneside, Newcastle.
Yeah.
So, doing stuff for up north.
I want to see you acting
quite
more.
good. Yeah.
It's easy, isn't it, to get taken away from all of that?
Yeah, it is. My film Are We Dead Yet, which has been amazing.
Yeah.
Which we shot last year and it's come out this year, is doing really good. So I'm really happy. I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
But I'm doing a play in February at the Tristan Bates Theatre in Covent Garden called Time. But as an actor, it's spitty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm putting on events at the moment for a place called Jakarta's. Some really big events.
Like what?
Like a massive drum and bass event with Jumping Jack Frost and
we're a big fan of Frosties. We're calling Frosties because we know him so well, don't we?
And a very, very special headline act that I can't
Paul Digweed?
Can't say no.
Is it Paul Digweed?
No, it's drum and bass.
Is it Sasha?
It's drum and bass. But
sorry, you did say drum and bass. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking more happy hardcore.
And doing like comedy nights with Dapper Laughs and stuff like that, and just I'm really interested in my live music stuff. Raph Law's band called Outer Stellar Overdrive.
Literally speaking another language.
Things like that. But my Instagram account is.
Now this is what I want to get onto in a minute. Would you like to? By the way, you can phone up me. You can chat to me and Paul and Kath.
You want to talk about that?
0344 499 1000. If you just want to phone up and do the normal stuff. Okay. Put your headphones on, and I'm going to introduce you to a very, very good friend of the show.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Alan, you're through to Paul Danan.
Evening, Martin and Kathleen, Paul.
Hello.
You're meeting the force that is the Caddick.
Hi, Caddick.
Cabbage.
Just to have you on the show, Paul, I've got a killer question for you.
Killer question. Here we go.
What was your favourite moment when you did Hollyoaks?
Your favourite moment when you did Hollyoaks?
Probably driving a car into the stop. It was the shop that sells a bit of everything. Shop and stop or whatever it was called.
Shop and not stop in that case.
Not stop. The Dog in the Pond, wasn't it?
I didn't drive into the Dog in the Pond. I drove with my mum, who was dying of cancer.
Into the pond.
Because I was joyriding at the time, and I found out. I said, "You're not my mother," and something or other, and it was a proper crash. I mean, it was amazing.
Wow,
that was fun.
Wow.
Yeah. Real stuntman stuff.
Were you a fan of? Have you ever seen Hollyoaks, Cads?
Yeah, I did.
Now, what is your era? For me, the classic era. Were you in it with? What was the guy? What was his name? Bottle Rocket. The thick guy. There was a thick guy.
Jambo?
Sorry?
Jambo.
He wasn't thick.
Not Jambo.
Not Jambo.
I think it may have been slightly after your time. What was he called? He was
one called Bottle Rocket.
No.
It was not Tinhead. That was Brookside.
Yep.
But it was like Tinhead. Do you know who I mean, Alan?
Yeah, I know what you mean as well.
I'm trying to picture his name.
Try and picture his face, and then try and remember his name.
There was two of them. What, you mean Darren and they were and Matt Littler?
Max and Obi.
No,
Obi.
Max and Obi.
not those two, because they've gone off.
Yeah.
Bombhead.
Bombhead.
Oh, Lee Otway. I was on Celebrity Love Island with him.
But Bombhead was
Yeah, he was after me though. But
Okay.
I like after me in Hollyoaks.
Yeah.
But we met each other properly
Wow.
on Celebrity Love Island, and he did lose his stuff on Love Island because the American girl.
What do you mean he lost his stuff?
He just lost his mind because this American girl wouldn't just didn't want him.
Right.
And she
was in love.
She was more into Dennis Rodman.
And here's, Alan, thank you very much for that. And here's the thing, right? People don't realise that Love Island now, it was around, when was Celebrity Love Island?
2005, 2006.
There you go. So 15 years ago, it was around, but
different then, though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, but it was Celebrity Love Island.
Celebrity.
And it was Callum Best, who was in everything.
Everything.
Callum Best owned ITV2 between the years of 2003
This
and
was ITV1.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was, of course it was.
It was the
It was
big pants, big boys.
Big old who hosted
Big
it?
boys stuff. So we had to start with, it was Patrick Kilty and Kelly Brook. My ex.
Yes, of course. What, really? Did you go out with you went out with Patrick Kilty? Jokes. You went out with Kelly Brook?
Yeah, and the thing is, she was with it's a Walkoff, Titanic guy.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No. Come on, the baddie in Titanic.
It's literally just three old people, two of whom have caned it too much.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. It's a walk-off. In Zoolander. That's his best line.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, when it's a walk-off.
Yeah.
And, which means, anyway. So basically.
But don't focus too much on Billy Zane, let it go.
But Billy had some good advice, even though he knew that,
Yeah.
we were stripping back in the day.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you really did care for her.
It's romantic, isn't it?
Stripping, you say. I didn't know any of this, gosh.
It's a very good Yiddish word.
So what did the Zanester say to
He
you?
was giving me some great advice. He was like, really, listen, what you need to do with your money and what you need to do with this fame now, because, it was a big series for me,
it's
that,
huge.
I was coming off a lot of drugs and the world was seeing it, and for some reason they were loving it.
Yeah.
Which, in a way, if I get on a kind of more sad level of it, it's quite exploitation.
Yeah.
Like the way they fed me the alcohol and, and they knew that I wasn't very well, but I was also loving it.
Yeah.
Because it was like a lad's holiday. I, in my own little mind, forgot there were cameras.
Yeah.
Because they're behind these black cloths and behind these palm trees, just
And this is before
sneezing now and again. And
we were aware of, but Big Brother had been around, but we still weren't quite.
No,
the reality TV wasn't quite the thing that it is
just
now.
started. That's why I had no idea what reality
So what
was.
you were trying to get, you'd given up drugs, and we will talk about drugs because it's integral to both of us, I think. But you were giving up drugs in 2005, and you went straight onto the Love Island, or
I didn't really have a choice. You weren't really allowed to take drugs on the island.
outrageous. So what you had a big use up and then flew over there or something?
Pretty much. I mean, I got there and bought a big black sack of Fijian weed, very twiggy and stemmy and
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let me bring that black sack with me onto the actual show.
Responsible,
So when I got on there, the only thing I had was alcohol given to me. I wasn't really into booze, but
If that's all you've got,
that's
you're
all
gonna
I
neck
got. It kind of took, away any pain or feelings that I kind of, look, at the end of the day, it was my fault. It's my part to play in that, I have to own that completely. But the fact was, all I had was the women, which was the reason of being there, I suppose, for the show, and then the booze, and then, when you take the booze too far, you become this happy drunk into this paranoid kind of aggressive drunk, and that's where, I suppose it was a bit exploiting in a way. It was like, well, let's feed him more because this is great TV. And Big Brother is on the other side, and we need to really beat their ratings. And
it was quite handy for them to let you unravel, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was coming off a lot of stuff, and they kind of hid that away and just let me detox without
on
giving
screen
me anything. And it was just my way and I didn't even know what was going on with my body or my brain. I didn't know I was I'd never done that. I'd never been to rehab. I'd never done detox. So for me, I was like, what's going on with me? But so the only way to kind of mask that was to have a drink in the evenings. But I wanted all the drink. you know, and I didn't realise the way I was acting. It was quite bad. But what was good about that Love Island is the fact that there were no producers or directors on set telling you who to get with, what to do, how to be, what conversations to have, which is now how it is, very contrived.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not dissing their Love Island right now. Because,
it's a different show.
But it's
Same
a
name,
completely
different show.
different kettle of fish. We were just left on this island, 500 crew on another island. Editing, making it happen, and bigger than the jungle.
Yeah.
You know, or as big as the setup. Granada TV, you know, huge. They spent millions, you know, and you're just left with Abby Titmus. You know,
now I've met Abby Titmus, who I think Abby Titmus is beautiful. She's a really nice
girl,
person, very quiet,
real Nurse Betty. You know.
Very. I met her. She did some stuff at LBC years ago when I was there, and she's such a nice.
Yeah.
But both those women you met and you named got chewed up and spat out, didn't they?
I think Abby.
But Abby's killing it now in General Hospital in LA. Yeah,
she's doing it great.
She's in Joey's.
But she got
from Friends show.
She got used terribly. I thought the way that she was treated, just because she made a
because
tape
of that
with a couple of mates.
John Leslie stuff, wasn't it?
But meanwhile, Kim Kardashian, she made a flipping sex tape.
I think it's the difference of a few years.
Yeah,
I think it's the difference of a few years. It is now more acceptable, that kind of thing.
I made my own show on that show because we were bored in the day and stuff, called Lilo Banter.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was presented
that I'd watch.
Yeah, and it was presented by Lionel Banter.
Yeah.
So I was this character called Lionel Banter. I don't know where it came from. Yeah. And I'd wear this really silly outfit with this Hawaiian shirt, and I'd get on a Lilo in the water. And it was my way of really interviewing the other celebrities, but because, you know, it was like, well, forget anyone's watching, we're just having a laugh, and they ain't gonna use this footage. Tell me everything. What happened with John Leslie? What happened with David Beckham, Rebecca Lewis? What happened, you know, and I'd be like, hello, it's Lionel Banter. You know, okay, so today I'd like to know, was David really big? You know, and all that, and she'd answer.
Yeah.
Because she just think I was just Paulie having a laugh.
Yeah.
And ITV2 had a live little spin-off show that were just throwing it out there every day, and it became huge, this Lilo Banter. You know, I still need to do this show. You know, imagine interviewing guests on a Lilo.
Stay there. I need to take a break.
Do it.
Thank you. This is the late night alternative. Iain, Kath, we've got Paul Danan. Daniel, stay there. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Set free your mind. Let your fancy take flight. Conversation gets curiouser by the glow of moonlight. The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Have you heard of, we were just during the break, Paul said, I was in a film you did about a signing in a shop. And I'm going, I don't think you were in that in the end. No. But that was done by, that was my mate Scott Balcony. Have you seen the girly SWAT? When you finish texting, Paul, no rush, mate.
I'm promoting your show.
Okay.
Sorry. Hi. I mean, it was what you sent me. I think you cut me out, or you just didn't want me in the end. But you teased me to get me in it, and then.
But you weren't in it.
I don't think you had the budget.
No, there was no budget. No. Let me phone up Scott, who's Scott. Have you seen the girly SWAT t-shirts?
Girly SWAT t-shirts.
And the Lady Hale Spider shirts? No, you haven't. Okay.
It's bad that I don't know that.
No, it's,
From now on, say you haven't, they're brilliant.
Can you send me one?
Right, just leave a message. Right, for Scott. Say Paul Danan, and this is Scott.
Please leave your message after the tone. To re-record your message, key hash at any time.
Oh, hi Scott, it's Paul Danan here. You know those t-shirts you do with the spiders and stuff like that? I was wondering if you might be able to send me some. I've just been really thinking about them a lot. I don't know why they've come up, in my dreams. And, you know, I'm trying to think of a new fashion brand, and I just thought maybe we could talk. Also, do you remember that show that you made with a guy called Iain Lee? It was about like some signing thing. I'm like working on my resentments at the moment, and I just wondered like why you didn't hire me, because you teased me that you were going to get me in it, and then you didn't. So anyway, I think I deserve at least the t-shirt for that. All right, but no grudges held. All right, cheers, mate. Bye.
There we go. Let's put him in his place. Let's go to Daniel. Daniel, you're through to Dangerous Danan. Not heard that for a while.
Hello, I got fooled by you when you said that Kate was gone.
Say that again,
Sorry,
Daniel.
mate.
I was fooled by you.
Yeah.
You said that Kate was gone. That she was fired.
Oh, that I was gone, that I got fired.
I did say Catherine was gone for racial insensitivity.
Oh, right. This is the first wave of the campaign to reinstate me.
Well, it turns out it has to go to a tribunal, Daniel. I don't actually have the authority to give her the sack, despite being her boss.
You're not my boss.
Who earns the most?
Well, you don't make you my boss.
Daniel.
Today I got a free haircut.
Oh,
free haircut. So did I, mate. That's weird.
Yeah, I was searching like homeless haircut and things like cheapest hairdresser.
Where was the hairdressers?
And then I found one in Liverpool Street.
Liverpool Street.
That is like it's called the London School of Barbering.
Right, excellent. Did you cut it yourself?
I went there. Very nice people. Lots of people wanting to have a free haircut.
Amazing. So you were like a model?
No, they are training, so they have a supervisor, and then they shag everything. And
they shag everything?
Shave.
Check.
Check.
It's just for
shave, shag, then check. That's how I make love.
They shave.
Can you just tell me what it looks like now?
Rubbish.
It looks well done. Like the thing is, when I was in the street, like many people smoking outside, and then
terrible.
There was a postman trying to find number 1 on that street. And then I thought, well, this is why my vision of the international postcode system using meter cubes.
But how's your hair, mate?
Hang on. You've just glossed over something that could be amazing. Hair? You have a brand new system for international postcodes, Daniel.
Yes.
How does that work?
It uses meter cubes, so each meter cube is a different postcode.
A metal cube is a different postcode?
No, meter.
Meter.
A meter
cube.
Oh, a meter cube on the map.
Each meter cube is a different postcode.
Okay. Oh, hang on.
Well, that's just an address.
But hang on, that means in your house, you'll have about 25 postcodes?
Listen to you, Lady Muck.
Right, and when you sign a tenancy, you would list all the cubes that you have in your house.
So what makes you want to do that as a job?
I designed some algorithms to calculate the cube. Right. If you have the GPS coordinates, you can calculate the cube.
Excellent, mate.
But anyway, Daniel, how's your hair?
So it was clipper number 1 on the sides and on the back.
Same here.
And then kind of freestyle, a bit messy with scissors.
So you've got the same haircut as Paul Danan.
Yeah. See, I had mine done today.
It looks lovely.
Thank you, R.W. Wolf Barbers in Knightsbridge.
Free?
Yeah, free.
How come?
Well, I did some posts for them.
You did some posts?
Yeah.
What?
On Instagram.
He's working the Insta.
You've got to show me how to work that.
In Portugal, I'm from Portugal, and they did one thing called the cow parade.
Cow parade?
So
a parade of cows?
The cow parade, and in London we did the elephant parade.
But what's that got to do with hair, mate?
Instead of cows or elephants, we could have cubes.
Okay.
All right, we're back.
Thanks, mate.
Daniel, do you want to ask Paul Danan anything?
He is from Love Island, isn't it?
Yes.
Because I love Paris Hilton. I like the Kim Kardashian thing and Paris Hilton. Once I went to the Hilton Hotel in Holland, in
Finsbury Park.
In Holland.
When you entered the Hilton, did you go in the front or did you go in round the back?
There was a piano.
Okay, gosh, very spacious. Daniel, thank you so much for that. It's a real insight into. I would.
Good luck with barbering.
I would love to hear you doing a late night show.
This is unbelievable.
Let's do some. We're going to do the Instagram in a minute. Let's do some good news.
Let's do some good stuff.
You're clean.
Yeah.
From drugs?
I am clean from drugs and drink.
Am I allowed to ask how long?
Everything. Last week I picked up my 6 months. Yeah. So, it's been really, it's been a real journey, man. I mean, I had to go away again in January, February, actually, no. What am I talking about? I went away to Thailand, in about, beginning of April.
I'm talking to to my mum.
The important thing is he went.
I was just thinking when it was. But that, it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, beginning of April I went away and, I haven't touched anything since, but I did have a long detox. And I picked up my 6 months last week, and it feels good. I did a chair today, which is, if you don't know, it's where you tell your story to people in a meeting, and I'm passing the message on that it is possible.
So you okay? I can speak freely now because you've now outed yourself as going to meetings, and I talk about how I go to meetings and stuff, and we have bumped into each other in meetings from time to time. Is this the longest?
Yeah.
You've been clean?
Yeah.
Oh, mate,
everything.
I'm so pleased.
Yeah, because, I've had a time where, I was still like, dabbling with some painkillers or dabbling with a joint or dabbling with maybe, a beer here and there, but this is absolutely everything. Gambling. I haven't gambled in over a year.
Wow, mate.
I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I don't take anything mind altering at all. So it's massive. It's a really big deal for me, and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud to admit it.
Yeah.
That it's taken me 15 years in and out of treatment centres, in and out of NACA, AA, which is the fellowship of recovery of where we go to get well. And this time I'm doing it properly. I'm working the 12 steps, if anyone understands what that is. I'm an advocate for Nutritious Minds, where I'm their trust ambassador for people to say.
Nutritious Minds?
Nutritious Minds is a charity that's basically about kind of what it covers a lot of ADHD stuff. So I was diagnosed ADHD earlier on in the year.
Right. Okay, I didn't realise.
Yeah, it makes sense, to be honest.
Does it? Did
I've
it kind of
slowed
line
down
up
a lot. Yeah, because there was so much, because I think I had so much going on in my head all the time that when I got stress from like not being able to concentrate on one thing, then that stress led me to kind of being, wanting to numb that pain, that stress. When I'm stressed, I'm like, hate it. So, I need a beer, or I need a joint, or I need a line, or I need something just to take away this bloody stress. And to be honest, it was because I suffered with this ADHD all my life, which I didn't really know. But you can only be diagnosed with it once you're actually completely, 3 months completely clean and sober. And now, over 6 months, I'm, so much more aware of that, and I have certain things that I do to manage it, and a lot meditation's a lot to do with that, and a lot of mindfulness stuff, and
the difference in you is incredible, right? Because I've been going to meetings for 16 years. And I saw you, back in the day, 10 odd years ago, I'd see you, and it was always a delight to see you, but then I'd read stories that you were seeing news, and all these horrible stories that some people seem to take great pleasure in.
Yeah.
And I'd always just look at it and go, oh man, come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
You've got to do this. And, so seeing you now, and we bumped into each other a couple of times recently, and it's lovely. Seeing you now, the difference is phenomenal. I love your little WhatsApp messages every day. Get a little uplifting WhatsApp message.
Yeah, some of my best mate, Johnny, who I do my podcast with, he said to me, he goes to me, Paul, man, someone said to me the other day, is your mate, trying to be a bit like Russell Brand at the moment? Or not trying to be, but is he becoming a bit like that way?
Yeah.
And he was like, you gotta stop all this self-help stuff. And I'm like, well, but to be honest, why, if it's actually helping me and other people? And he's just like, well, cause, what's his name? Denzel Washington says,
stop texting him.
You don't speak it. You don't need to air it for people to know it, that you're doing it, type stuff.
No.
But, at the end of the day, no, but that's Johnny's way. He's quite strict with me, and that, he's like, you don't need to tell everyone, you can just, in other words, people will know if they'll know. But, my way is just you know what, if I can put a little message up that's a bit of a kind of, come on guys, we can do this, even if you're low, help someone, you do an esteemable act that gives you self-esteem, even if you're feeling a bit rubbish, go and help someone else, and it might really help you in turn, and stuff like that. And I think, the more I pass a message on, or the more I kind of go, look, I still struggle every day. I think about, remember 20 years, 25 years of having something to take me away from me. It's not just going to go away in 6-7 months. But the good thing is today I don't need to act on those thoughts. You know, I can think, oh yeah, it'd be nice to have a beer right now because he's having one, or wow, I could just smell that lovely weed. But at the end of the day, that's going to take me back down to the bottom again.
Can't you smell weed everywhere now? Everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
And it's just constantly.
Yeah, you know.
Just
I you know, I would used to, if I smelt it, I would follow that smell and go up to the person and go, all right, man, how you doing? Because I think it's a real hippie thing to share a J.
Yeah.
You know, now I just ignore it. I do, because I've got that time under my belt where I can kind of go, do you know what? It is what, that's life, man. I can't shy away from life.
I'm smiling because I'm so happy to see this.
It's real truth what I'm saying tonight. Like, there is no BS at all in what I'm saying. Like, it's the God's honest truth. You know, and
but this thing is that we have a daily reprieve from this, right? We'll go into the language a bit, but because I had 13 years and I did the jungle, and I came back and I picked up the week after I got back, I picked up a drug I'd never used before, and I dived in again only for 3 months.
And it's so good you admit that.
Yeah. Well, the day after, I told Catherine, I phoned up some people in recovery that I hadn't spoken to for ages and said, I've done something terrible. And thank God it was only 3 months of using again, because some people never come back.
Well, exactly. I mean, I don't think I'd come back. I think I'd die if I went and used again.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a big statement to make on radio, but I do. I think if I used, because of the guilt and the shame and everything, or I would just get straight back in recovery like the day after. But it's not that easy. Who knows? Why would I take that risk?
Yeah. And also the resentment, I mean, I'm like 20 months. When I picked up my 18-month keyring a couple of months ago.
Well done, mate.
It was the same day I should have, in my head, been picking up 15 years. Yeah. And there's that real...
But you can't hang on to that.
Exactly.
Because that will just do you nothing.
But it just shows...
Because it's just a day. It's a day at a time. Yeah. Even if someone that's listening has got 1 day or a week, that's amazing. Because I couldn't get an hour.
Yeah. So good to see you healthy. And you're doing it through meetings.
I'm doing it through the 12 steps, through meetings, through reaching out, and through basically, you know, through God.
And we have a lot of people...
I mean, I don't want to be too God, but it's not me that's doing this stuff, it's God. It's what I choose to call it God. You know, I choose to pray and to believe in something bigger than me.
And some people, I got scared by the whole God thing. For me, the God is God with a small G. Yeah. So different for everyone. Yeah. It's a higher power. For me, it's the universe, it's the sun, it's my kittens, it's my boys' laughter. Yeah. It's that.
It's some way to hand it over, isn't it? It's
that's
hope.
it.
It's hope and trust and a bit of faith as well.
We have a lot of people listening who have got addiction issues.
Really?
We get a lot of calls, and we've had some great... You know, Alistair, we've been talking about a lot, and if you're listening, Alistair, I hope you don't mind me using your name again, but we've had a lot of people who have, you know, phoned us up sounding hopeless and helpless. Wow. Alistair's got his 6-month keyring the other day from booze. Exactly, man. And so we have a lot of people listening. You know, we go on until 1 o'clock on a Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So there's a lot of people out there listening who are lost in whatever that may be. So hearing a success story like yours, and I didn't even need to hear the war stories because we know what it is. So, but hearing the success story. And me, you know, saying that there is an obvious change in you is going to be inspirational.
Absolutely, but you know, there's only a success story because I've now put in this 100% work into my recovery, like I put 100% work into using my drink and drugs. Like, I put in a lot of effort to get that gear. You know what I mean? I had to. And to go to the doctors and manipulate them for this or for that. Or to go to this dealer or that dealer, or to raise money, or to borrow money, or to steal money, or whatever.
It's hard work.
Yeah, it was hard work. So why can't I do that for my recovery? To live, to have my little boy happy to see me every day, to have my parents proud of me again, for my friends to trust me, for work to give me work, for my career to blossom again. All that good stuff is only because I'm taking it seriously. I'm not just doing it Paul's way. I'm doing it, you know, the way where I'm taught by, I have a sponsor, which is someone that takes me through, that guides me through what he went through his guy, and he's 21 years, you know, so everything, even when it's about girls, do you know what I mean? I'll say to him, look, you know, I've got this situation with it, you know, what should I do? And I listen to him because he knows, you know, he's been there. He's like, of course you're going to be all right about women and shopping and, you know.
Didn't I tell you he was the nicest bloke? I love you, Danan.
I love you.
I've got to say, I said this off air, you've got the most amazing eyes. Look at his eyes.
He's always had gorgeous baby blues.
Isn't it?
We've all got blues in this room right now.
Yours are very, very special.
Yeah, but look at him now, they're all lit up, right? There's a time when it was
sparkle,
it was dim, you know?
Yeah, I think so, and it's funny because you've seen me, and you have, and and I don't see myself, but others see me, and it's funny when you don't realise, you're so oblivious to actually what people are seeing, and I'm thinking I'm getting away with it, it's fine, no, they don't know. Because my eyes aren't red. Well, they're dead. That's the thing. It's like
the sparkle wouldn't be there.
It's what's and it's how I come across. There is a difference.
Yeah.
There is a difference, and it's amazing. And I used to feel fearful about talking about where I was at because I didn't want to put pressure on myself or out of myself of the amount of time because I think, oh no, now it's too much pressure on me if I do mess up.
Yeah.
But the fact is, it's like I'm not scared of that anymore.
Yeah.
Because I do believe if I carry on doing what I'm doing, what I did today. Hopefully it'll be the same as tomorrow and I'll go to bed still clean.
Wicked. It's a brilliant message. We're going to take a little break. We're going to speak to Pete and then we're going to talk about your Instagram and anything else that you want to sell. We're coming up to the point. You've earned it.
Listen.
This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Kick off your slippers. Don't go to bed. The party is just starting. You can sleep when you're dead. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Sorry, Paul. Who is this? This is my name is Iain. This is Catherine. 6 months, he says. I'm not sure I believe it. I'm Iain.
No, who are we speaking to?
It's Pete. Hello, Pete.
Hi, Pete.
Hello, gang. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. He thought your name was B for some reason.
Could it be B just for tonight?
Hello, B. What can we do for you?
Well, I'm speaking on behalf of Pete, the official apprentice correspondent.
Now, Pete, we have correspondents that give us updates on stuff,
Brilliant.
and Pete is the apprentice correspondent.
With no spoilers.
Oh, hang on a second, right, so we need to, hang on a minute, guys, we just need to do this. It's time now for the apprentice correspondent update with...
Pete.
That's...
Pete.
I think I'd be remiss if I didn't ask Paul, first of all, about Kartik.
Oh, okay.
What's Kartik?
No, it's actually Karthik, but it doesn't matter.
Pete, what's 1-0 to...
No, because he found it, let's not even go there with this one, actually. But what about him? Where is he? Because he was the apprentice, wasn't he? Yeah.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
When I was on the phone waiting, I quickly Googled Paul Danan apprentice to see if you'd been in the celebrity one. And you hadn't, but you'd met Kartik, who was in a couple of years ago on the civilian one.
Oh. Yes.
That was all.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
lovely guy, really kind soul, actually. I really liked him a lot. Actually, yeah. I was on Celebrity Big Brother with him.
The Apprentice. Of course you were, thank you. The Apprentice is another one of those shows. I had to do I did an interview today and we got on about how a reality TV show and how it can mess you up and stuff. And I said, the jungle really screwed me up and the aftercare was not great. I got a phone call from their site saying, do you want to come in for a meeting? I went, no, I'm alright. Fine. And then I went off and scored some crystal, so it doesn't work. But the people on things like Love Island, The Apprentice, I guess to a certain extent, but not quite the same, but Love Island, I kind of knew what to expect because I've been on telly on and off for 20 years. The kids on Love Island, they don't know. So suddenly they're on one of the biggest shows in the world and for 4, 5, 6 months afterwards, they're incredibly famous and it will go to their heads.
It's huge.
You get treated like royalty. You've got a big old check, I'm guessing. You don't keep earning that same amount of money.
Well, no, I don't think they get money to go on it. I think what happens is they get the money from the endorsements afterwards. And they get a little wage for missing work because a lot of them. Remember the amount of people they put on this normal Love Island. It's quite a lot of people. Like only a certain cast stay the whole duration. But overall, there's probably a good 30. People, girls and boys together, go on it. So some of them really stand out and some of them don't. With us, there was only 10 of us. And, we were used to, as you say, like you were being on the telly and this, that and the other. We'd had careers or we did still have careers, actors, musicians, this, that and the other. But with these guys, they're just picked because they got good abs They got
a lot of asses.
really lovely lips and just excellent hair.
Yeah.
And basically, you know, and then suddenly you're right, you know, but the difference, I mean, 4 years on Hollyoaks for me, I didn't even get a quarter of the amount of fame as I got on 6 weeks or 8 weeks from Love Island.
Oh, I bet.
It was mental, the amount of attention you get from a reality show compared to working your, you know, off. Balls, can I say balls?
You can say balls.
Balls off.
You can't say bollocks. So don't.
4 years every day on a soap opera as a main character. 6-8 weeks on an island. It's like, I can't tell you. So poor them who have not been used to this height of fame, and unfortunately for them it doesn't last. The following year comes, they're forgotten about.
Because they're taught how to play the game. I think some of them do get some guidance. It's about getting those magazine deals, get yourself paired off, know how to play the game. But the thing is, the game starts again the next year without you.
It does, but they can't all be on X Factor and actually, you know, sing half well. Like, you know, like that Love Island group. On X Factor, lucky them, at least they got to do something.
I couldn't watch Love Island, The Jungle last year, the year after I did it, and I felt jealous. And the new one coming up, I still feel jealous and think, well, I'm missing out. And the fame.
Did you want the extra camp?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even have me on as a guest. I would like, I wanted it.
Yeah.
And I even got in touch with them last year and said, can I come on as a guest? They went, well, thanks very much, but no.
Wow.
So I'm not even, but the fame, and I'd never experienced anything like it. I remember I got back, and at the airport in Heathrow, you got like 10-year-olds asking you for selfies.
Yeah.
And the first time I went out, I took my boys to a pantomime at the Hexagon in Reading, and we got there just as a school party turned up. 190 kids, I know, because I had to have a selfie with each one separately. One kid turned around, I'll be back in the country 2 days, and went, oh my God, it's Iain from the Jungle. And these kids started screaming and walking towards me en masse, and I didn't know what to do.
But this is it. They knew you just by your first name. It wasn't even Iain Lee. It wasn't Paul Danan. It was Paul or Iain. It was just, you'd say that name and everyone would know who you meant.
Yeah.
Because my mum was going, they don't even have to say your surname.
And then 6 months later, it's gone. And I remember suddenly walking out, and my son, youngest son, do you think people will ask you for selfies today? I said, it just doesn't happen anymore. It just doesn't happen. And however much you want to go, I'm so glad it's back to normal, your ego, you think, well, what have I done? Why don't they love me anymore? It messes up with your head. It does,
but we choose to do it.
Yes. Oh, and it paid very well. I got a nice check.
And look where you are today, man. You've got your own show.
Exactly.
Well, like, come on, this is big time.
See, I feel a bit guilty
I really
about...
like Catherine.
Oh, thanks, I do.
You've been with her for 50 minutes, Paul.
She's really nice.
That jungle thing, I feel guilty about it. That I suggested it might be all right for you to do it. I feel bad. I feel bad.
No,
as a BFF, you feel bad.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was bloody torture for me to watch, so I can only imagine how bad it was to be in there.
Oh, it was horrendous.
And then all the fallout afterwards.
It was horrendous. I wouldn't have that house or those 5 cats if I didn't do it, so it's worth it.
But you came across so fine on it.
Yeah. I was just in there with arseholes.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't in as great a place as I said I was. I had to... I'd never lived my life under such scrutiny. I've always been very private, and suddenly I come out and I find that the press have been knocking on my mother-in-law's door. I've never had that.
They do all that. They do all that without you knowing.
Yeah, and my agent had to kind of tell some lies to protect my kids. It's like, what? Anyway, Pete, could you hurry up, please, mate? You're really dragging this call out, buddy.
Sorry, mate.
No, it's Pete's doing it.
No, I know.
It's my longest update ever, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of news this week. I mean, someone who is apparently eyeing up being one of the arseholes in the jungle next year is Lottie Lyon.
Oh. Because that's how it works. You do The Apprentice and go, I think I'd like to be in the jungle next year.
I bet she is.
Well, I mean, apparently she's backing a campaign to get her in the jungle. So what that means is, someone tweeted, wouldn't it be great if Lottie Lyon went in the jungle next year? And she probably went,
listen, mate, people have been backing me to go back in Hollyoaks for 20 years. It's still not happened.
Did you fall out with the Hollyoaks people?
No,
if you don't mind me asking.
I just left. I just wanted to go to America and become a movie star.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
Well, I'm watching people. I'm having a triple bill Danan. Did you? Is that what happened?
Yeah,
you went to the States?
I thought, I don't want to be stereotyped. I've been there 4 years, and I just thought, what more can happen to this character?
Do you regret leaving?
You know what? I don't regret leaving, but I do have that, as you say, that little bit of, whether it's resentment or jealousy or envy, that they've never actually asked me to come back and do a little stint.
This is the
because they've asked everyone else. Yeah. Now I know I had my problems with addiction and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it was a blooming big character. Soul was huge, and people would love to see him again. And I just feel like it's a shame they've never asked me.
Yeah. Have you approached them?
I mean, years ago, I think we had conversations, and they said when there's a storyline, it'll be great. Of course, we would let him know. I'm actually in Spain after murdering this pimp, so I come back a little bit bronze and possibly go to prison, but. Ça va.
Pete, thank you very much.
Pete, love you.
Your please don't give them ideas. Your Instagram.
Yes. So I thought we could talk about it a little bit because, you know, at the end of the day, people go, is it you? Is it not you? You know, it's Dananagram.
Great already. It's insane. It's the most insane Instagram feed I've ever seen.
Oh my God. Yes, it is.
It's actually the biggest Instagram account on Instagram, even though, it's followed by such high up A-listers. It's hilarious. If you're in your 30s to 40s to 50s, and you knew about China Whites and back in the day and celebrities from back then, the captions are amazing. The writing's phenomenal. The detail is just out of this world.
And is it you doing it?
And the pictures, it's me and a couple of other guys, and we write it together, and we post it. I do a post once every few weeks or every 3 weeks or so, and it takes real effort, real comedy. It's a parody account, and there's big things happening from it, you know, like i.e. you know, a big TV show coming up, a huge podcast, etc. And it's just, you know what, I'm in that place where I can take the pee a bit of myself, and it refers to drugs, it refers to drinking, it refers to sex, it refers to naughty stuff, but you know what, it's all parody. It's all just kind of like having a laugh, and there's a lot of boy bands in it. You know, and it's our era, Ian. You know, it's back in the day, and it's the old days. And you know what? That's really kind of, you know, people want to remember those days, and people want to go, do you know what? I remember that, and that's so funny. It's Jordan without any plastic surgery. You know, it's Peter Andre when, you know, he was
a talented singer,
Mysterious Girl and stuff. It's the whole Blue Boys. It's Abs from Five killing it. You know, it's Dane Bowers. It's
a lovely shot of Shane Ritchie here. I'm sure you'll appreciate.
Yeah, and you know, Darren Day's our guru in it. You know, we love Darren Day. Uncle Mickles is Mick Hucknall. You know, we call him Uncle Mickles.
Did you just say Mick Hucknall?
Mick Hucknall.
Okay, right.
Yeah, Simply Red.
I know the fella. Yeah.
So you know, if you want tickles from Uncle Mickles, you know, and Anthea Gurner.
Jeez.
Anthea Turner.
I get it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I got it. And you know, and it just goes on, and it's phenomenal, and I like the reactions, but within a year we've got nearly 100,000 followers. We get over 15,000 likes. I mean, people just love it.
A picture of Abs from Five.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff. Callum Best loves it. Bless you, old Callum.
He always used to say you can't get an STD if you don't get tested. #rotter.
And you said you're doing a podcast as well?
Yeah, so it's Paul Danan The Morning After. It's basically, it was #1 in the iTunes charts.
I'm going to subscribe now.
It's hilarious if you want to hear about the old days and some really funny stories.
And so what is it? Is it true stories?
True stories, 100% true. And, you know, my mate Johnny really busts me because he just says what I was like back then, and what I'm, you know.
Did he know you back in the day?
Oh yeah, I've known him since I was 3. You know, so it's me and my best mate. My brother comes on it, and Ben Ofedu from Fats and Small comes on it, and Sam Delaney comes on it, and you know, and I've had loads. I have lots.
Banned by the Mayor of Preston.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Did you get banned by the Mayor of Preston
for doing panto? Yeah, because I swore.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Christmas lights.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, and you know, and that's the thing. You know,
You're gonna write a book. You don't even need to write a book. You've got all of these stories in this pod.
I mean, that is another thing that's being written at the moment. It's called Too Much Too Young.
Right.
And I can't wait for it to come out.
We're out of time.
Yeah, I love you. You are Thanks for having me on.
Shut up for a second, please. For God's sakes, in a whole hour. Come back any time you want, man. Honestly. And I know it took us a few weeks to sort this out, and then we had to stop because there was a bloody politics, and we got taken off the air and all that rubbish. You got an open invitation anytime you want to. Sorry, you can talk now.
I was going to say, so that was true.
Did you think? Oh. Did you think that I was just blowing you up?
I just thought maybe you were busy.
No,
We're busy.
We got, if there's like a
maybe
really
you weren't
serious,
sure.
well, this is the show, right? If there's a serious oh God, you thought I was just politely
But
bumping
that's
you.
my insecurity, isn't it? That's my self-esteem.
Well, no, I understand.
No,
I would
I mean,
feel so. If there's like a heavy news story, me and Kath get
You
taken
did
off.
video call me, so you were like, it wasn't like you were trying to hide anything.
No, I felt really bad, but we don't find out until about 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's why I'm texting you and I'm phoning you and I'm
emailing.
We got you in, and now you know it's legit.
It was legit. Damn old politics. Damn you. Damn you, Roger.
Please be quiet. We will be back in a bit. 03444991000. Thank you so much, Paul Danan. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Love you.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down.
Boom, 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 boom.
I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
I've got a cold. I've not had a cold for, I think, like 3 years. And now I've got a cold. This is Iain Lee, the Late Night Alternative. That was fun with Paul. Isn't he a nice bloke? And honestly, it's so lovely to see him 6 months clean and sober, sparkle in his eyes, and like he's like a giant puppy. He's such a nice lad. The show continues afoot. 03444991000. It's the Late Night Alternative. Me, Iain Lee. Catherine Boyle will be back in a second. She's escorting our guest off the premises at gunpoint. It's a phone-in show unlike any other, in that we just kind of sit here and we talk nonsense and we see where it goes. Can I do a little check-in? Do you mind if I do a little check-in? Merci beaucoup. I'm not feeling great at the moment, so I think it's very likely I'm not going to be in tomorrow, and I may not be in. I probably won't be in on Friday. Catherine will be doing. It's not 100%. I need to see how I feel in the morning, but Catherine will be doing the shows. I'm just feeling a little drained, little mental health not great. That's playing it down quite considerably. I'm feeling lousy. Doing the show is fine. I'm kind of faking it on the show a little bit, and I'm a professional when it comes to faking it. But I'm not feeling great. And there are the few, so I'm going to go home. I want to stay at home. I want to be with my cats. I want to meditate. I've got to do a couple of little things tomorrow, that I kind of said I'd do, and so I'm going to do them. And just gonna sort of recharge. And there's a few practical things I can do. The house is a real mess at the moment. It's just everything is everywhere, and it's because I'm overwhelmed. And it would take 2 hours to tidy it up. 2 hours. And if I do that, that will help. Does this make sense to some of you? I think it might do. If I can just tidy up the house a little bit, then it will just clear a little bit of my head and start putting things in order. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so that's probably what's going to happen. So come and get it while it's hot. 0344 499 1000. Let's see where this goes, because we had words yesterday. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening.
Where are we today, Chris?
I know you told me not to ring you up, but I have done again. Because I was listening to that person, lad, who was talking about he had a slight drug habit.
I think even Paul Danan would suggest that that slight is an understatement by quite some considerable way.
Well, I don't know that person.
Okay, what's the point? Because we did kind of discuss yesterday that unless you we did discuss yesterday that unless you were prepared to kind of start making a few changes, that perhaps it would be. Please let me, Paul, but Chris, please let me finish, mate. You don't listen. You don't listen. We did say yesterday that unless you start making a few changes, it's probably best that you don't call us again.
Well, I made a change because I used to be a drug addict. I used to put needles in my arm. And do you know what stopped me?
Go on.
I was in a house, and
Chris, I'm gonna stick with what I said yesterday. Thanks for wanting to share that, but it was a real. I meant what I said yesterday.
No, because I'm not a drug addict.
And that's great, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful, and I'm really pleased to hear that. But the issue isn't drugs that we were talking about yesterday, is it? The issue was I worry, and you'll say that it isn't, but Catherine and I worry that we are enabling you to continue.
Oh, don't worry about me.
Chris, could you let me finish, mate? I'm finding you quite rude.
Oh.
I'm actually finding you quite rude. Oh, right? Because I'm trying to put forward a point, and you keep interrupting, and you will not listen. Right? This is really.
I don't mean to be rude.
You are.
Sorry.
Whether you mean it or not, you are being rude.
Oh.
Okay. Right. So I'm going to say something, and it's really important. Okay.
Go on.
We spoke yesterday, and I think Catherine and I are very concerned that we are enabling you to continue living a life that is unhealthy for you, and that you are using us as an outlet, which is unfair on us.
No, I'm not.
Chris, is unfair on us, is unfair on the listener, and is actually dangerous and damaging for you. So I'm gonna really
stick. Is that what you feel?
It's what we said yesterday, Chris. It was a whole conversation that we had yesterday, and it is exactly what I feel, yeah.
Is that what...
I think that you phoning us up is unfair on me and Catherine. I think it's very unfair on the listener, and I think it's dangerous for you while you're phoning up in this state and unwilling to make any changes.
Well, I tried to.
You haven't tried to. You haven't tried to. You haven't tried to. Chris, so I know it sounds harsh, but I'm going to stick to it, actually. I've been thinking a lot about what I said to you yesterday and whether it was too aggressive or not. And no, I don't think it was, and I'm really going to stick to it. I do not want you to call this show until you can phone up and say that you have done something to make a positive change in your life, because I think you're being unfair on me and Catherine. I think you're being unfair on the listener, and I think that we are allowing you to continue this life of.
That sounds awful.
It does, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Yes.
Doesn't it?
You're saying that I'm being awful on yourself and Catherine.
Didn't say that, Chris. Didn't say that. Didn't say you're awful on myself and Kath. I chose my words very, very carefully. But I think that by allowing you to call up and do these calls that you have been doing,
well, block my phone calls.
No, it's not up to. No. It's not up to us. It's up to you.
Also, Chris, how are we going to hear from you if we block your phone calls? How are we going to hear from you when you start sorting yourself out?
You know, you say like I don't use Twitter and stuff, and I can't be asked to do that anymore.
No, but what I'm saying is we will hear from you again, won't we, when you start sorting things out?
Yeah, you understand that?
No, I didn't.
We'll hear from you again when you start sorting things out.
Well, that's why I rang up.
No. You're telling us you're telling us you sorted your drug addiction out. That was in the past.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. That's great. Well done. And that must be great. But we are talking about the situation that you're in now, where you phone us up, you tell us how bleak your life is and how you can't go out, and then you start crying. You need to make a change, as we said yesterday. We have suggested lots of stuff. You don't want to listen to any of it. Then I'm afraid I can't allow you to come on the show anymore until you do something to change, because I think we are enabling your situation.
I've been banned from many places.
Okay, I don't want to hear.
This isn't a ban. This isn't a ban, Chris. This is the thing. What you hear are absolute reasons why you can't do stuff. We're not saying that. What we're saying is we want you to take positive steps to change your situation, and then we can talk about those. But at the moment, it's just the same thing over and over, and you're telling us things that you should be telling... Wait a minute. You're telling us things that you should be telling a professional that can do something about them.
Pardon?
You're telling us things that you would be better off telling a professional who can help you make changes.
Okay, Chris, so hopefully we'll speak in the future when things have changed, but if not, I wish you the best of luck, mate.
All right, cheers, Iain, Catherine.
Thank you, Chris. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Stephen. Good evening, Stephen. Oh, no, hang on a second. Let's try again. Good evening, Stephen.
Yes.
Hello, Iain.
Hello.
Hello, Iain and Kath.
Hello, Stephen.
Listen, I hope you don't take too much of this show home with you, because some of it is really, really bleak listening.
Hello? Yeah, hello. What did you call in to say, Stephen?
I was listening to Paul, really nice lad.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, aye. Good actor as well. He was good in Hollyoaks.
Yep.
Yeah, aye.
Did you ring us last night towards the end of the show, Stephen?
Yeah, I was a wee bit tense, you know, without the antidepressants that have been took off. I don't want to ponder on that issue too much, because that takes me back. You know, I'm trying to think positive.
Yeah. So how can we help you tonight?
I don't know. Sing a song.
You want to sing a song? Go on then.
Oh no, I don't want to sing a song. No, my voice. No. I don't know.
You don't have to be a good singer to sing a song. Just sing. You sing for the joy of making a loud noise.
No. The thing I was talking about with you, especially you, Iain, please don't take this the wrong way. I think sometimes you care too much about your listeners.
I don't think there is by the way, I love the Glasgow Rang. I love it. I think it's so delicious. And that is something I am trying to work on, Stephen. But yeah, as I said yesterday, you know, everyone that drops a stone on our back, a little bit of it sticks. You know, people come and phone in with these big boulders, and a little bit of stone chips off and falls into our pockets, and me and Kath carry it around with us. And, yeah, I do care too much sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's my problem. I'm dealing with it.
Yeah, well, I hope you're a really nice soul, you two, Kath.
Thank you.
That's basically all I wanted to say.
Stephen, nice one, mate. Thank you very much, and thanks for calling back. I appreciate it. 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative. I think we're getting the after effects of the full moon from last night. The late night alternative, Ian and Kath, every weeknight from 10 on Talk Radio.
Stimulating nightly emissions guaranteed to open your eyes and your mind.
Oh my word.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. I'm just saying, told the listener, Catherine, I probably will not be in for the next couple of nights, that you will be leading them
Yeah, that's the bad news. It's
by the hand.
It's gonna be me.
Bit suspicious, James Well. Bashing his head in the middle of the night.
Well, very nasty accident.
Yeah, he stood up, rush of blood to the head, and he fell back and cut his head open.
Can happen.
Fell backwards though. For me, you fall forwards, and you cut your head just there, forehead on the side of a table.
Are you saying that you think it was an owl?
I don't think it was an owl. I think it was a gentleman in the woods.
Gosh.
I think he was gathering wood in the woods late at night and was smacked over the back of the head.
It's a very very colourful image.
Yeah. Remember when...
Thanks for that. Thanks for planting that seed.
Do you
My head.
remember when Kevin Spacey was mugged walking his dog at 3 o'clock in the morning on Clapham Common?
Wow.
There's a lot of it about. Let's go to Jerry. Good evening, Jerry.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath.
Oh,
Jerry from California, yeah. Coming today, surfing everybody's blues away. She's riding the wild surf. She's riding on a little motorcycle. She's playing electric guitar, and baby, she don't care.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
There you
That's
go,
the
you
only
see.
thing you can say.
I'm getting really into the Beach Boys again.
Obviously.
Really. There's a Beach Boys event on Saturday that I was toying of going with. It's not even that far from me. It's like 25 minutes away from me. But it would involve, Jerry, get this, it would involve walking into a church hall where there'd be approximately 120 other men, and it would involve me walking in on my own and sitting there on my own all day. To quote the great Neil Diamond, ain't no way. So I probably won't go.
Okay.
Anyway, Joe, what can we do for you this eve? This beautiful eve, crispy cold, Christmassy eve.
Can I ask you guys a question?
No.
Yes.
No. Okay. Then I'll
hang on a minute. Why are you listening? Why are you listening to her and not to me?
Because I'm the person who sanctions the questions.
Listen to Sean Scott. Hang on, listen. Sean Scott on Twitter grassing me up. James Well, are you listening to this crap on Talk Radio? Iain Lee is taking the piss out of your fall today. What an absolute scumbag. No, I'm not. I'm not taking the piss, Sean. I'm not taking the piss. It's obviously a very, very nasty fall, and it's very, very upsetting, Sean.
Also, Sean, how do we phrase this? We're mates with him. You're not.
Yeah, I know, I've got his home phone number. I'll probably give him a call tomorrow, Sean, to check how he's doing. What you're doing is, there's a picture of you, you look about 12, you're smoking a fag, and you're grassing at someone up on Twitter.
You're sucking up to someone.
Sucking up to someone. Don't even know. He doesn't even like you, Sean. And listen to your... is this a bot? Sean Scott... 9319564. Was all the other 9,319,535 numbers Sean Scott has gone? You absolute melt.
Anyway, thanks for your message.
Get lost, Sean Scott, you bell cheese.
Okay.
Jerry, yes, you can ask us a question, please.
Okay. Are you guys coming over here in April to see Mike and Nikki?
for those who don't know, the Monkees, who played their last ever gig at the Sydney Opera House earlier this year, the two remaining Monkees, Michael Nesmith, Mickey Dolenz, both of whom are friends of mine. Friends, I mean, come on, don't reply to my emails
They're
anymore.
not as friends as James Whale.
Yeah, there we go. They are doing a series of shows. They're releasing a live album, and I am considering it. Yeah, it's not definite, but I'm considering it.
Okay, well, if you're gonna get tickets, you know what? They're selling fast.
Oh.
And the place that they're going is real small because I know where it's at.
Oh.
And so yeah, if you don't get me, it's going really fast.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well,
just you know what? Let me know, and I try to get you guys some tickets.
Wait, hang on, Kath's not. Whoa, Kath's not coming to.
No, I'm not involved in any.
You're
of
not
this
coming
fun.
to see the Monkees. I'd love you to see a Monkees gig.
Yeah, but just come over here anyway, so we can go like shopping and go to LA and you know, and I think Nikki lives somewhere over here in the beach, so you guys can catch up and everything. So come on, what do you got to lose?
This sounds a little too keen. I suspect we're going to wind up in Jerry's basement, duct taped to a chair, force-fed poppers, and then they're going to do all kinds of things to us. Sounds great. I'm in. Jerry, I would love to. Here's the thing. I would love to. I'm a bit skint at the moment, and this is the problem. I need to find out, I need to see if my work contract is being extended. Sean says, I'm actually 17. Get your facts correct, son.
Son, it's calling you son.
Sean, you're
Let's not talk facts.
Sean, let's not talk facts. I'll give you facts. You're a little prick. Now, and you're muted, so you carry on replying, baby. I need to see if my contract gets renewed in March. I suspect it will be. I've heard good. The word on the street is, the word is good. But you know, money, Jerry, is the thing. Money. We could do a GoFundMe. GoFund Ian and Cass trip to LA. I'm up for that.
This shopping trip ain't going to pay for itself.
Oh, Jerry, why are you being so tight? Why don't you offer to pay? This is incredibly selfish of you, Jerry. Offer to pay for our flights to LA and a 4-star. I'll compromise a 4-star hotel.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm a millionaire.
Who says Americans don't do sarcasm? I just heard it there.
I will hope so, Jerry. But yeah, I'm aware it's selling out. It's selling out quickly. But thank you. I will keep my fingers crossed. And it'd be nice to meet you and your family at some point, because you've been such a lovely contributor to the show. Let's go to Des. Good evening, Des. Let's go. Hello, Des.
Hello. You built this city. You built this city on rock and roll. Built this city.
Does the thing where he just skips the
built
pause.
this city on rock and roll.
And that city will be Hull, Des, where you're calling from, yes?
Yes, it will be. It will be.
You
Yes.
do the thing that I really hate, and I'm constantly saying this to Catherine. I just think some people don't get it, right? Sing that again.
Okay. You built this city. You built
Stop me there. That's not the song. The song goes like this. We built this city. We built this. No. You're not holding. You're embarrassed by the pause. So you come in like a beat, 2 beats, 3 beats early. It goes, we built this city. We built this, and you're going, we built this city. We built this city. And it really, really, really annoys me when people do that. He's gone. He's hung up. Good.
You completely...
I hope he's gone off to practice.
You rained on his parade.
I hope he's gone off to practice. If he's humiliated and in tears, good. Because fame costs, and right here is where you start paying.
In sweat.
Is it sweat?
Yeah.
I was paying in the wrong stuff.
Have you seen Stephen Page's latest tweet?
No.
He's had a very important visitor to one of his concerts at the City Vineyard, New York City.
That's where we saw him.
Yeah, I think there might be slightly more exciting.
Was it the Queen? Elton John?
It's one of your favourite people.
Mike Nesmith?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds was for a long time. Hey, look at that! He didn't post a picture of us when we met him.
Strange that, isn't it?
He didn't post a picture of us when we met him. Oh, good. That's some venue, huh? No, we didn't see the City Vineyard. We saw City Winery, a different venue.
Oh.
So,
that'd be why I didn't take our picture.
that'll be why. Good evening, Catherine.
Hello.
Hello, Catherine. Long time no croak.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Oh. Do you need a water?
I had a really bad weekend.
Go on, what's happening?
With illness.
Yeah, you're feeling lousy.
I've been in bed the whole weekend.
Mate.
I have had a plethora of district nurses, doctors, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, and it's still not ended.
Why have you had so many this weekend, Catherine?
Well, I keep having falls, and they're heavy falls. I think I know what it is. I think I have no cartilage in my knees.
Right.
And from laying in bed to recover the illness, my muscles are not strong enough to support me.
Right.
So when I get up to go anywhere, I sort of fall down. So they all rushed out. And plus the fact, since I've been diagnosed, which is 3 years now, not one single person, professional or otherwise, has come out to see me. No one. I mean, you'd think they would come out, make themselves familiar with your home, talk to you, see what sort of person you are.
Yeah.
No.
They don't. Sadly, I know this. They don't.
They don't. So I had to get over it myself. On Sunday night, I thought I was going to die. I've never had it before, and I had an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
And my heart was racing. I just thought I was going to die. I was in tears. I phoned my nurse, and all she kept saying is, calm yourself down.
Well, yeah, okay, right, but yeah, I'm having an anxiety attack. How am I supposed to calm myself down?
Exactly.
There are tricks you can do when you're having an anxiety attack, but it can be tough. I've only had a handful of panic attacks, and it's very frightening, isn't it? Which then makes it worse.
It is terrifying because I kept crying and I kept begging her to help me. And she said to me, well, there is medication for anxiety, but unfortunately I can't be it to you. It's got to be a doctor.
Right, of course.
And I didn't want to phone a doctor out in that hour of the morning. So I ended up going to bed, laying on my bed. My husband fast asleep, and my dog got fast asleep, and everyone asleep apart from me. And
do you ever meditate, Catherine? I'm sure it's been suggested before.
I'm very, very big into Buddha. Buddhism, I think, is fabulous.
Yeah.
And I'm also into my Buddhist cycle animal. So I do a lot of yoga, and I do a lot of what they call disabled yoga. But as for meditating, I've worked so hard. My husband can meditate very easily, but I have worked so hard, and I just can't meditate.
Well, and you know, a Buddhist wiser than me would say, well, you're working too hard. The meditation is not working. Have you ever tried because I do TM, so I've got my little mantra, and that works for me great. But I did for a while, on the recommendation of my sister, use the Headspace app. Have you ever tried that?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh, have you got a smartphone?
Yeah.
Get the
I've got an iPad I use.
Yeah. Get the Headspace app. I'm just going to check it on my phone because I haven't got it on this phone. I'm just checking that it's still free. You get to a level where you have to pay, but I never paid. I would just there was enough. I haven't used it for a couple of years. There was enough free stuff that you could very successfully use it without having to pay. And it's really, it starts off I think the first few days of meditation, it's like 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Right.
And he's kind of talking you through it. Then it goes up to 5, then 7, then 10. And the longer you get, he kind of backs away from it and just checks in every now and then. And I found it really really helpful. I'm just installing. Look, it's installed already while I'm talking to you, so it's only a small thing.
Oh, must try that. Sorry, good evening, Catherine.
Hey, hello.
I didn't mean to be rude.
You weren't rude at all, don't you worry.
It has been noted. So you sign up with you can sign in with Facebook. I don't know if you've got Facebook. I'm just creating an account now.
But I don't like Facebook.
No, I don't use Facebook, but sometimes with some things you can just log in and I don't like, or you can log in with an email and a password. Yeah. There you go. It looks like there's still a lot of it that's free.
Oh, great.
So it's called Headspace. And, I don't know, if you're having panic attacks or anxiety attacks, it may not help in the moment, but it may help afterwards, and maybe if you kind of build it into your daily routine, it might lessen the severity of them.
Great. That would be really, really great.
Why don't you give it a try, and maybe you called us before, but maybe give us a call in like a week or 10 days or so of you using it, and just say, yeah, that was brilliant, I'm all zen, or no, that was a piece of crap, what else you got? And we can take suggestions then from other listeners who might have found other ways to...
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah,
because I don't sleep at night.
No.
I'm awake all night.
Tiring, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm awake every night. You're not going to believe me.
Go on.
I've been awake since I was 14 years old.
Sorry?
I've had insomnia since I was 14.
What? You've never, hang on a minute, you've never slept, or you've never had a good night's sleep?
I've never ever had, the most I've had has been an hour and a half. And
no wonder you're so nuts. That would drive anyone crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it started when I was going through all my GCSEs and everything, and it never stopped. And I've still got it now. I'm 53.
Jeez.
So it's a bit difficult.
No.
So I'm what you call a night owl. I'm up all night.
Try the app.
I will try
a bit of chamomile. I'm always a big advocate of a bit of chamomile tea. You've probably been suggesting all this stuff before.
I've got a cupboard full of fruit teas.
Okay, try chamomile, because that's very calming.
Try valerian.
I'm gonna say something. Have you ever smoked weed or drunk, had weed in coffee, tea or anything like that?
Right, I've never touched weed because it scares me.
Yeah.
I've never touched any drugs because they really scare me.
No, and that's sensible. That's very, very sensible, and I'm not in any way suggesting you do anything illegal, but...
No.
But I do know people for whom sleep and anxiety has been an issue, and they've had the occasional cup of tea that's been made out of cannabis, and listen, I'm not telling you what medicines or medications to take. I couldn't, but I know that for a couple of people I know it has helped them a lot.
Yeah, it helped my one of the clients suffers from multiple sclerosis. And she takes it in her tea.
Yeah.
It's the only painkiller that helps her.
Yeah, I got very stoned with my mum once when I tried to see if cannabis would help her. It didn't, but we had a great afternoon laughing at Countdown. It was very, very funny. Catherine, try and get some rest. Let us know how that app goes and if you have any success with it.
Yeah. What I actually phoned in for as well is for the ghost story update.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've got a really spooky one for you.
Okay.
I would like to know your opinion on it.
Okay, well then we're going to get some spooky music in the background. Here we go. Let's hear it, Catherine.
Right, our group got called to do cleansing in a house that was owned by a young boy. And his friend said that the boy was drifting further away from friends and family. So we went for our initial walk round and met the young boy, and he was very pleasant, but he wasn't engaging. So he told about different things, and there was very bad vibes in the house. You could feel it. Anyway, after about an hour, we decided we would go outside for some fresh air. And he came with us, and we left an EVP machine running. And we shut the door. There was nobody in the house, and there was absolutely nobody could get in, and we were all outside together. And on the EVP, there is what sounded like demonic chanting. Real chanting, you know, like you hear in horror films. So it was coming from the loft. So I went up in the loft with my husband, and everywhere you could see plastered on the walls was Church of Satan, was Aleister Crowley. He was obsessed with Crowley. And he was sitting in the middle of what we call a calling circle. And a calling circle is when you call in different spirits. And we think he'd opened that portal and caused spirits, very bad spirits, to come through. The very bad thing is we were there on 4 consecutive nights and we couldn't clear it. We just could not clear it, and in the end I happened to know somebody who's a Jesuit priest.
Yeah.
And I called out the Jesuit priest, and he worked very diligently, and he told me, he said, "You're the one that's holding all this back." And I said, "I don't understand." He said, "You're a Roman Catholic. They don't like you. You need to leave the building." So I did, and within 2 hours, the Jesuit priest had cleared everything. The whole room felt lighter. Just everything felt better. But I have a suspicious feeling that the boy is not going to stop, because he gave us no guarantees that he would give up smoking weed and contacting things. He thinks it's his hobby, doesn't realise how dangerous it is. So,
Jesus, Catherine, that's the most terrifying story. I remember when my boy was in a year ago and was hearing ghost stories and burst into tears. I nearly recreated that scene. That's the most horrible story I've ever heard in my life.
It is really horrible. We've got files with even worse cases.
Well, Catherine, we will access those files at a later date. Go and have a nice cup of chamomile tea, relax, listen to the rest of the show, and we will speak again soon. Thank you, Catherine. 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative, weeknights from 10 with Iain and Kath on Talk Radio.
Jacked up jive talk for janitors, jazz cats, and gin-soaked boys and girls.
Is that Commando?
If you're awake, you're welcome.
I've got 5 cactus needles stuck in my...
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The kittens, George and Patty, that's their names. Thank you, Catherine. Slept on my bed last night for the first time. They came upstairs. Mucky, who normally sleeps on the bed, was not happy. I woke up in the middle of the night to find Patty was asleep on top of the hot water bottle. A little shitbag.
I had the first instance of having a lovely snuggle with Willow on Willow is my cat, by the way, on the sofa today, and then I nipped up to go to Lou, and when I came back she was sitting in my spot.
There we go.
There was no budging her.
No, you are always sitting in her spot. Good evening, Josh.
Hey, how are you?
Very well, Josh. What have you got for us?
Well, I was just listening to you discussing meditation and things. I was wondering whether it could help me out with my problem. So basically, I don't sleep very well either, like your last caller. So what I tend to do is just get in my car and drive around for hours in the night.
Yeah.
And what I've actually discovered is I've got a pretty bad sex addiction. I can't stop buying prostitutes. So what I'm thinking of is when I get to that thought process of thinking I need to draw money out, is there some kind of meditation I could do to take me away from that thought process?
Gosh, you're asking a question that's above my pay grade, I'm afraid. I wouldn't know. Meditation helps everybody. Would it help with that? I don't know. I think with addiction, you need a little bit more help from outside.
Well, yeah, maybe, but I'm like out now, like driving around, you know?
Okay.
You know, so I
Who's
thought
who's in the car with you?
Nobody.
Okay, I thought I heard somebody.
No. It's just driving around the streets. Just because my mind doesn't slow down, you know, it's just forever on the go all the time.
Well, then, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, meditation helps everybody. There's no denying it. It's a great little tool. Is it going to stop
you? Meditate, do you?
I meditate. I haven't done it for ages. I'm going to be doing it tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
But I'm sex addiction is a big thing. Paying for sex when you don't want to pay for sex is a big thing, and it's hard to break that cycle on your own. I would suggest that you need either help from other sex addicts in form of a fellowship, or professional help, or you need to do something. Meditation ain't going to stop you going out and paying for sex if you're addicted to it.
Costs me a lot of money, though, you know.
Well, yeah, it would do.
I work in a warehouse driving a forklift truck, and basically I earn about £10 an hour, and I get paid every Friday lunchtime. By Saturday evenings, it's gone.
Yeah. Oh, I understand addiction now. It drains the bank account.
Yeah. And then you've got the other things that go around that with the, like, obviously low self-esteem and various bits and pieces like that as well. And it's just started to get out of control. Like,
Oh, well, it sounds like it's not starting to. It sounds like it's out of control. There is, in as much as there is Alcoholics Anonymous and there is Narcotics Anonymous, there is also Sex Addicts Anonymous, SAA, and I know they have meetings in Bristol, and if you Googled them, they might be able to offer you some help. I went to SAA for a long time, and it gave me some help, but it wasn't enough to stop the behaviours that I was doing around sex that I didn't want to do.
Was you a sex addict? Was you?
I would say I am. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the full details of how that manifests itself for me, but yeah, I did stuff sexually that would bring me great shame and that I didn't want to do.
All right.
And I'm working on stopping that, and I'm having a good run of not acting out like that.
Yeah, I can relate to that, or hope to relate to that.
Just go home now. Go home.
Okay.
Go home.
Yeah.
How far away are you from home?
Good 20 minutes now.
All right, well, good. Just turn the car around, go home. Now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something. Right, here we go. I'm going to say something that's going to sound unpleasant to some people. Put fingers in your ears, ladies, and people under the age of 18. Go home and knock one out.
Okay, yeah.
Go home and masturbate and save yourself 50 quid, 100 quid, whatever it is you're spending, and then think about it tomorrow. But save yourself the money tonight.
Should I watch some porn with it?
Do whatever you want to do at home, on your own. You know, this is not particularly spiritual advice, but it's going to save you, I don't know, 100 quid, 75 quid tonight, and you'll wake up and go, oh, I didn't do it last night.
Yeah. All right, I'll give it a go.
All right, thank you, Josh. There we go. All the advice. I mean, very rarely I'll tell someone go home and masturbate, but you know, it's not the most spiritual answer. It's certainly not a long-term solution. But if it stops him paying for sex and throwing away money, giving himself a feeling of shame, but also taking advantage of someone who more than likely doesn't want to have sex, you know, is working in the sex industry. I know there are a lot of men and women that work in the sex industry that love it as a career choice and love it as a job. I know that. But there are more women who are doing it because they're being forced to do it, because there's slave trade, because of drugs, because of whatever. It's a very exploitative industry. So go home and know that you've treated womankind with respect tonight. Did I do the 22? It's so forgetful, Amy. So forgetful. I had a real panic there. And I thought, what the hell? Did that sound alright to say that? I mean, it's...
Listen, whatever gets his head on the pillow tonight, clean. And then tomorrow, try again.
That's it. Hello, Matthew.
Oh, good evening, Ian. Good evening, Kath. First time caller, avid listener.
Where's your bell? Where's your bell?
Hang on, I got it. I've always got the bell.
Really?
That's for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It sounds like when Trigger was on the bus in Only Fools and Horses.
It sounds like Chris from Port Talbot, doesn't he? Whereabouts are you from, Matthew?
I'm Barry Island, mate. It's my list, but it's...
Okay, there we go. Barry Island of the list. What can we do for you tonight, Matthew?
Well, the last phone call kind of threw me, but I've got a bad picture in my head now about John 20-minute drive home and going home and not going out, mate.
Well, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get you through the night, as John Lennon would
Ian,
say.
the reason I've called you this evening is something you said earlier about you needing some time off.
Yes.
Get yourself together. I think the best medicine for you is to continue doing what you do and showing the compassion that people are calling to you. I would never normally call, but I listen quite often, and so many people are there with problems, and sometimes you're blunt, but generally you show so many people so much care and time, the pair of you, including Kath. And I think the best medicine for you is maybe not time off, mate. Go and do an hour in the flat tonight, hour tomorrow, whatever, but don't go off the airways. You help more people when you're on the air, and I think that'll help you.
I appreciate what you're saying. I'm listening and hearing to what you're saying, and I will very politely thank you for your suggestion and ignore it. If that's okay, because I get what you're saying totally, but I kind of know. I think I could be totally wrong. I think I know what's best. I think I know what I need to do.
Okay.
And that is just to have a couple of days away and yeah. But thank you, Matthew.
But we'll don't disappear for too long. By the way, I do have a rescue cat myself, and
the best, man.
He has his own hot water bottle.
Jeez.
That might be the answer.
Yes.
And he also has a lead and a hoodie, and I take him down Barry Island. He has a coffee down by Nessa's shop, so he's quite cool.
Hang on a sec, just stay there, Matthew. So, did he say that the cat's got a hoodie?
Yeah, and a lead.
What?
Yeah, I couldn't even get mine to wear the bat wings for 5 minutes.
Confused it with the dog. Ask him if he's confused it with the dog.
You're not talking about a dog, are you, Matthew?
Kath, I can actually WhatsApp you a picture of Buddy Brown on his lead if you wish.
Oh, can you tweet me one?
I don't do.
Yeah, but she doesn't give out a phone number to strangers. Who put
Smooth move, though.
Cats in hoodies.
Although that is a tantalising thought.
He nearly catfished you there.
He has his own skull and crossbones hoodie and a lead. I get him his own deck chair, and his hot water bottle home is Dennis and Menace.
Matthew, you're insane. Thank you for calling. Bye-bye.
Oh my God.
What a fruitcake. Let's go to Manny. Then we got some post. After midnight, we'll open some post that's been sent in. I have 2 packages to open. Good evening, Manny.
Good evening, young man.
Manny. Say it, Manny. La 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 la. Go on.
La 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 la.
Wow.
That's it. She's faster.
She's fast.
I'm going to save you some money, Ian.
I heard Ranjit on Nick Ferrari the other day.
I heard him on WM the other day.
Yeah, he's a good guy, miserable guy.
I remember Ranjit.
Used to go into chip shop, used to phone me up.
Chippy, man.
Boring Chippy.
Yeah.
Go on.
Right. I was going to tell you this yesterday. You know, your bathroom.
Yes.
You've ordered it, yeah?
I've ordered it. The bath is coming tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Don't buy tiles.
What?
We had our bathrooms done in June.
What did you put on the walls? Wallpaper? Carpet?
No. There's these new sheets, a 6x4 plastic, right? Waterproof.
God, you're so common. Plastic? Plastic on the walls of my bathroom. What is this? Have you ever got a wet room or something?
They're not. So they're waterproof, right?
So tiles.
And you get them in so many different colours, and they come in 6x4.
Oh, it sounds awful.
And no. And we had all 4 done. And you know when the water comes down, it can go down the side of the bath.
Yeah, we've had a leak.
Yeah, but you use sealant.
No.
You use sealant.
This is completely different.
This is modern, is it?
Because the sealant does sort of tear away, doesn't it?
Yeah, after about 5 or 6 years, and then you come and get someone to do the sealant again, or you do it yourself. I can.
Or you leave it to destroy your ceilings.
You don't need the sealant on there at all, and we've had it now since June. They don't need cleaning. Just a quick wipe over.
I didn't say cleaning. I said sneeze. I sneezed.
Right?
Mate, it sounds hideous.
No, I'll send you
No, mate, and plastic is killing the oceans. You think I want to kill a baby seal?
Don't be silly. It's just come out about 6 months ago.
What is it? Right, hang on. So what's it called? I'm going to Google it.
I'm not going to. I don't. What I'll do. Hang on.
No, bathroom plastic wall. Bathroom plastic wall. Yeah.
The sheets are 6x4. You can get them in all shiny black.
What? PVC rubber?
No,
hygienic PVC wall cladding.
Ugh.
I don't know what it's called, but
well, tell me what it's called. Nice. You want me to get it, but then you don't know what it's called. Well, how can I get it?
Listen to me. When my daughter comes tomorrow, right, you're not going to be. I'll tell Kat. I'll ask her what they are.
Don't phone up Kat for this. She's got standards.
I'm fine.
So her show will be good tomorrow.
You'll be there tomorrow. I'll
plastic sheets tomorrow. For bathroom walls.
It's not plastic. It's called something else.
You just spent the whole thing saying it was plastic.
I know, but I call it plastic, but it's not. It's
Proclad.
Vinyl.
No.
Is it lino?
Lino.
No. It's
lino. Like, when was the last time someone got some lino laid in their kitchen?
I've got lino in my kitchen.
But when did you do it though?
It's a different name. I can't remember the bloody name. I'll find out tomorrow.
Don't bother.
I'll tell.
Don't bother.
Then you can, no, the proper name.
Bathroom. It's PVC bathroom cladding.
Yeah, look, you can get it with glitter.
They're all different colours. It looks nice when it's up, you know.
No,
honest.
I'm gonna get tiles. You absolute idiot! You've still got to have the bloody grouting along the side to stop the water going. That doesn't stop that.
They click together. These.
They click.
Yeah,
oh, it looks awful, Mammy. You can't tell because you're blind.
No.
A blind man's telling me what I should put up on the walls in my bathroom. I ain't gonna listen. Manny, thank you for your call. Never call again. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Brushing your hair with the wind, riding your bike up on Mulholland Drive. Oh, I got a 5-minute rush. You in your faded blue jeans. How many years since you've been alive? Oh, I'll take a guess. Rebecca, could it be 18, 19, or so? Ooh, Rebecca, will I ever know? How would I fit in your life? How could you live with a man without change? Too strange and too proud to be trusted. Busted a couple of times, shaken a bit by the years on the road and the women I've known. Rebecca, you'd have liked the name I gave to you. Ooh, Rebecca, if you only knew. Go home to your father's friends, strings on. To your mother's friends, sweet ones. To the families, well-to-do and so well-established. And one day, you might wake up to a shotgun. What does it come to? The sensible life, the wife of a poor Rebecca, reading magazines in a chic salon. Ooh, Rebecca, where's Rebecca
There's a lot of blood coming out of my nose while we're listening to Flo and Eddie sing a song about one of the cleaners who works here. I just
shouldn't blow it so hard.
Just showed it to, sorry? Just showed it to Catherine, and she was horrified. But I think I've just blown so hard, like Dizzy Gillespie when he would blow the trumpet so hard his lips would explode. His lips would bleed, like just pour blood. And I think I've blown my nose so hard in the style of Dizzy Gillespie. Dizzy Rascal, that I've blown a blood vessel.
You'd be glad to know that if you do continue to bleed out, I will lift your head above your... Oh, hang on. Legs.
Okay, so live shows going on. You know about that. This weekend... Oh, I'm taking Here's the Thing book off sale tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay, so it's going to go... You want to buy it, go to lulu.com, buy it. But this weekend, on iainlee.com, you'll be able to order the 7-inch single, and also rabbit hole pins that we got made.
Yeah.
They're great.
They're
just arrived. They're good, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're good. Aluminum, as our American cousins would say, soft aluminium, 25 millimeters.
Soft enamel.
Soft enamel.
They're not soft aluminium.
You don't know that.
Well,
you don't know
because then
that.
they would just bend.
You
They're
don't know
beautiful.
You don't know that. You don't know that for sure, Catherine. And you'll be able to order the rabbit hole logo. Right, we've got some posts. To Ian and Kath, June, remember we spoke to Dylan?
Yes.
And Dylan was June's grandson, and Rachel's son. Mm-hmm. And Dylan, tell me how you remember the conversation with Dylan and June going about the badges. Just how do you remember it going?
I remember Dylan being a bright, sparky young man who was
happy and volunteered to make us badges.
Yeah.
Not like that at all. I've got a letter here from Rachel, June's daughter. June got the kids to make these for you.
Oh. She coerced them.
It's like being sent some Nike or an iPhone. June got the kids to make these for you. They have started a badge making business. I hope you like them. From Rachel, June's daughter. So June is...
First of all, it's not business sense to be giving these things away.
June is a nasty piece of work.
Turns out, slave driver.
What
we got?
Okay. What we've got here is we've got a legal writ. These kids have used copyrighted images.
Copywritten, yeah.
These images are copyrighted, and they have used them. So there's a picture of that. We can wear that on our wedding day.
I'm going to wear a badge of myself.
And me, which is very nice. There is a rabbit hole.
Gosh, that is like the Charles and Di merch, isn't it?
Yeah, there are two.
I kind of love it.
Hashtag TLNA. These are great, Dylan. Thank you, mate. 2 hashtag TLNA and an Ian Lee badge, which I'm actually going to wear next time I go on TV. So I'm going to wear these. These are great. Thank you. They are copyrighted images, and so I am actually going to have to launch a cease and desist and a legal campaign. And then there's a bag here. What have we got in here? Holy guacamole! There's more badges. Late Night Loser.
Gosh, those children really have worked very hard.
There we go. We've got doubles, so you can have a badge with my name on it. There you go. You ungrateful? Ungrateful? Take it and put it on.
Oh no, I'll save it for best.
Take it and put it on. He's only a young lad, Dylan, that made it.
Save it for best, shall I? Where's the one with my name on it?
There isn't one, Catherine.
Oh.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, that's very kind.
Do you want to put that in there just for safe?
You keep it. Then we got this. Ian Lee at Talk Radio, right? It's me. There's a disc, right? And this is from someone called Alan from Merseyside. And written in pencil, thought that you might find this info more interesting for your listeners. Free discs all round. Dear friend, re-Halloween and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And there's quite... Okay, I'm just checking because there's some legal stuff and I just want to check that this is not an ongoing case. Okay, we're going in.
Oh really? Let me have a look.
No, it's fine. It's not. It's fine. What do you mean, let me have a look?
Let me see.
No, I'm going to read it. There's no case. There's no case. There's no case. There's a letter from the police themselves. My decision from the police. There is no evidence to support an allegation. No names, no pack drill. Although some may think that Halloween is possessing the the Houses of Parliament on the 31st of this month, the thoughts of some may, however, still be focusing on the paranormal and spiritual aspect of that day. That day, which is prior to the religious celebrations of All Saints' Day on the 1st of November, followed by All Souls' Day on the 2nd. Halloween is reputed to be... Someone has sent me this. Halloween is reputed to be that day when the veil between the physical world and the spirit world is at its most transparent and thinnest. So much so that those from that realm can return and engage with those still on this physical plane. It's like the film Coco.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lovely film.
Certain of those whom it is alleged take the occasion to return, do so in attire reflective of their inner nature. By the way, I have no idea what any of what I've just said means. Additionally, some in the attire in which they would be recognised by those on this earth once knew them. Black, white, darkness, light are words that may come to mind, but the words that are spoken do not of themselves have a colour. But it is the nature or detail that they convey that allows them to be placed under a particular heading or descriptor. In more modern times, Halloween is seen as a spooky and a let's scare and frighten them type of event. This being regardless of how that conduct affects the person who is the recipient of that fright and the effect it may have on them. Especially, anyone have any idea? Okay. Especially if that scared and frightened is enacted in an abandoned and reputedly haunted location, the effect being shock trauma. There are those who dress up as vampires with red dye on their costumes, also individuals who appear by their costume to have been victims of atrocious and blood-curdling acts and conducts.
Like your zombie cheerleader.
But if such atrocious and blood-curdling acts and conducts happened in real life, would those who witnessed such atrocities be the same the day after the event happened? Outside of the medical psychiatry profession, would anyone express concern? Would they acknowledge that such things can affect individuals? Would they extend to help a stranger without reward?
Where is this going?
Shortly after the turn of the century, a DVD containing a presentation based upon this latter possibility was sent to various locations. Caution is advised when viewing it. I'm guessing it's this. Watching this
God,
tonight.
is this going to be one of those ones where...
It's Ring.
Yeah.
It's Ring, isn't it? It's Ring. You watch it first and let me know. It was not until major events in which many transition from this world to the next that acknowledgement of a condition called PTSD became more widely used and publicly recognised. But what of the DVD and the presentation, you may ask? And it says again in red, caution is advised when viewing it. To give answer to that thought, it could likewise be thought that the content of that presentation contributed to the person who produced it losing his job.
What?
I have no idea what's going on, but I am loving this. To clarify those points and to enable you to have a thought or conclusion in relation to that presentation, I have enclosed a DVD on which is that very presentation. Then in red, caution is advised when viewing it. If you have the thought it should not have been made available or released to police officers to whom it was also made available, then it is with the greatest of respect that I ask you to spare a few minutes of your time reading the web page made mention of below. The web page in question can be reached by copying the web addresses into Google or a similar internet search engine.
Is he just explained how to look for things on the internet?
There is perhaps a puzzlement. I was pulling a very puzzled face then. That puzzlement being that in a certain year, I'm being slightly vague here, that puzzlement being that in 2008, a certain police force did not approve of the content of the DVD presentation. Is this like a Bluey or something? This is like a video nasty.
What's being presented?
I don't know, but caution is advised when viewing it. I'm actually a little bit scared. To such an extent that it contributed to the producer of the DVD's dismissal from that police force. Yet in 2019, I pause here, but will leave the remainder of that sentence for you to complete after you read the newspaper article from this newspaper, which can be viewed using the web page below. And finally, I'm pleased to think that another police force, who I won't name, have modified their perceptions since I worked in their training department. Thanks for taking the time to read this letter, and if you want to know more, then, like the officer in the newspaper article, I am only an email or written letter away. So get typing and talking, and if invited, I'll join in.
What's it say in red on the back of that letter?
Oh, this is another thing. These are the references. Then caution, those who are of a nervous disposition should not view the presentation on the disc. What is on this flip? I haven't got my disc drive with me. Then there's there's a letter from the police. Your complaint stated, I'm going to be very vague here, in a document dated that Constable made a statement alleging that a male who had been arrested for a racially aggravated public order offence at a role-play session was a friend of yours and had been brought along by you.
What?
It was your contention that you neither knew this male nor brought him to the session, and that the constable's remarks were a malicious falsehood. Investigation. On such and such a date, a letter was sent to you outlining that your complaint had been assessed as one's my decision. There is no evidence to support an allegation that this constable's statement to the police in respect of this matter was anything other than a mistaken presumption. Okay, so there's that. Then there's more. Then there's a certificate showing that this gentleman is a certificate in teaching English to speakers of foreign... TEFL. That's not TEFL, isn't it? Okay, so, okay. Then there's a thing about stress from California. That's in the first... This is like proper 90s late-night radio letters. Okay, but then there's another letter. About God and whether God is a man or a woman. Then there's another thing that relates to that police complaint from earlier. Wow. Okay, this is incredible. Then there's a letter from the police to this person who sent the letter. I'm being really vague. I'm not going to mention any police forces or any names. Dear Sir, I am the Chief Constable of this police force. Acknowledge that a statement was made in 2009, sent by redacted to a police officer and 2 other people, all members of staff at this police force, and contained the wording, quotes, such and such have done a bit of digging on him and found out that he's been expelled from the Psychic Society for inappropriate sexual innuendo. This statement is untrue and without foundation, and I apologise on behalf of this police force for the content of this email. And there's another. This is. I have absolutely. Alan, we'll call you. Then there's another letter about black magic, psychics and robots, ghosts and poltergeists. I mean, Aye. And then there's a letter from a fire service. Dear Sir, permission to make posters available. Thank you for your letter of the 15th of February and for attaching a copy of your poster, Do Police Use Psychics? We have a very clear policy with regard to the use of fire station notice boards for posters, and unfortunately, I'm not able to give permission for your poster to be distributed. What I will do is put a small article into our weekly bulletin called Hotline, informing personnel of your interest and giving your email address for individuals to make personal contact with you if this is of interest to you. The end. Now, Catherine, as producer of this show, I would like you to watch this DVD
Right.
in darkness with one candle lit behind you. Do you take the challenge?
Yeah, whatever.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've got to watch it on a computer.
Right.
Could be a bluey.
Bit of luck.
I mean, that was a waste of 20 minutes, but do you not feel a bit spooked out by that?
Let's see what's on the DVD.
Get spooked out. This is serious shiz, man. Talk radio.
No rules nocturnal nattering for nightbirds, nurses, and Nosferatu.
All right, cool.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Hey kids, if you ordered a record, they got sent out today, apart from about 3 or 4. Neil Waring, was going to send yours out, but I found an imperfection in your card, so we're going to make another card. And I think there is 1 or 2 people whose addresses I don't have, which I've tweeted, and I will email them again, and hopefully they can be sorted out. But they'll be sent out. Some of you may even get them tomorrow. I'm hoping most of you will get them by the weekend. Good evening, June!
Hi there, Ian. Hi there, Kath.
Hey, June.
I'm glad you got the kids' badges.
You are a slave driver. You're worse than those scumbags in India and Vietnam that forced 9-year-olds to make iPhones, not iPhones, but to make telephones.
Oh, no, hang on. My granddaughter was only 9 today.
So she was 8 when you were forcing her to do it. This is outrageous.
Yes, and Dylan's not 11 until next Monday.
Okay.
So, they were underage, I suppose, technically.
Technically. Now, good, make them work hard. Make them work till their fingers drop off. That's what I say. They are very, very lovely. Thank you very much, June, and thank the kids. It's very, very kind of them.
Don't worry about the copyright, because they're not selling them.
Well, I still am going to have to. They will be getting cease and desist letters from my legal team.
They were unique.
Well, there's 2 of this. Well, they're not unique. There's 2 of each. Listen, I don't want to upset you, but those kids are going to get taken away and put in kid prison.
Yeah,
Kid prison is a brilliant idea. I would watch Kid Prison.
Promises you can't keep.
I would. There was a show called Kid Prison. Would you watch it, Kath? Kids in prison doing time.
Sounds awful, but yes, I would.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, June, what can we do for you this evening?
I just phoned up to say thank you for mentioning them on the air. Dylan will be pleased when he hears it tomorrow.
Well, yeah, honestly, they're very, very kind, very thoughtful, and they will be treasured and it is appreciated. So thank you.
That's okay, and I hope my record comes on Friday.
Fingers crossed. You may. I mean, they were posted today before last post. Who knows? There's a chance you might get it tomorrow.
Yay. I've got a record player.
Beautiful.
As well.
You're
Somebody's lending me a record player.
You are gonna love this record. Me and Kath singing "Please, Mr. Postman." It's in with a bullet. #1 smash.
And then when I've listened to it, it can go in the drawer with the sexy sax man.
Oh, with the what?
The sexy sax man.
Who's the sexy tax man?
The sexy saxophonist.
Oh, you said sexy tax man. Sexy tax man. Okay.
No.
Well, I look forward to getting close to his blowhole.
Oh, you should be so lucky.
June, thank you very much indeed. Look forward to seeing you at one of the shows next year. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. What you got, Boyley?
A cat with an unusual stare has caught the internet's eye.
Okay.
Despite his slightly unnerving resemblance to a wide-eyed wooden puppet, Potato the cat's peculiar peepers have earned him more than 34,000 Instagram followers.
Oh, Scott gave me a new phrase for someone with a cross eye. You know, one eye's going to the shops, the other one's coming back with the change.
Yeah.
This one is one eye's paying the driver, the other's looking for a seat.
I was reminded by my dad of something my granddad Bert used to say, which was, she's got jealous eyes. Yeah. One's always keeping an eye on the other.
I love a wonky eye. I think it's a great thing. Great thing. Anyway, sorry, carry on. This cat just reminded me of that.
Oh, this isn't nice. They called this cat, this is the New York Post referring to the cat as the optical oddity.
Can you fix cross eyes with magnets? If you put tiny bit of metal on the side of the eye that you wanted pulled out, then affixed a magnet to the head, either using, I don't know, glue or surgery. You could have it put in, you could cut the skin open and stick it to the bone and sit over, or if you're pour just glasses, magnetic glasses, and that would pull the eye round, wouldn't
Well, I'm no eye surgeon, as you know.
it? I do know that, actually, and yet you still charge me $500 to do eye surgery on me, so what was that about?
Ipsnay on the urgery say.
Okay.
But I think you might have something there. I know at the moment what they do is they pop them out, tighten them up, and pop back in again.
They do, and I think that's unnecessary and
Invasive.
Invasive. So I'm thinking what you do is you just stick a little bit of metal, sharp metal on the side of the eye.
I've got a better idea. Metal hat. Magnet hat.
A metal magnet hat would do it, yeah. I mean...
Yeah. It probably helps with a lot of other things as well that we don't know about, like waves.
When I was going through a period of getting quite bad migraines about 10 years ago, I went to see a brilliant neurologist.
Neurologist, not urologist.
I said neurologist.
Just checking.
Urologist is pee-pee.
Yeah.
I went to a brilliant neurologist at a hospital, a proper hospital, right?
Good, yeah.
It's a proper NHS hospital, and I had the works. Because they were worried I had MS. I was worried I had MS. So I went and had brain scans. Well, I did this brilliant thing, man. They look in your eyes, but to make your pupils bigger, they dilate the pupils. So the pupil is the black bit, right?
Yeah.
That would become the size of the iris. So that you couldn't see the colour blue. It's just black. And honestly, that you're not allowed to go anywhere for like 3 hours because you can't see anything. It's the funniest thing. I did have a picture of it, but I've lost it. Of just like, anyway. So did all of that. I didn't have MS. My watch was too tight. That was actually a true story. They did sorry?
What?
My watch was too tight.
That was what was giving you headaches?
That was what was making my right side go numb.
What?
It's a true story.
No.
Yeah. And they did a lumbar puncture and all of that. Lumbar puncture was awful. Lumbar puncture was fine. The week after, the 7 days after was hell.
Well, yeah, I've had an epidural and that's a squeaker.
Yeah, I mean, this is worse.
Is it?
Yeah, it is worse because they're taking spinal fluid out of your spine and your brain. And so, and I was terrified of it, and I had it, and you have to kind of get into like the fetal position and say that. And they said
you can hear it squeaking as it goes in.
Yeah, and they said you're probably going to have a headache afterwards, and I didn't. I didn't, and I went home, and the next day I had a bit of a headache. And I was lying on the bed with a bit of a headache, thinking I feel a bit hungover.
Yeah.
And I sat up. Oh, I had like proper vertigo. Everything was spinning. I was going to throw up, and I lay down, and it would take about 2 hours to recalibrate, and you'd feel all right. And if you turned your head at all, it was like being on the Titanic. It was horrendous. Went on for about a week. Anyway, the reason for this is, got talking to this neurologist about migraines, and he said, "I'll tell you what we're going to do." And in the end, I found out I had like loads of white lesions on my brain, which could have been MS or I think Alzheimer's, maybe. It was probably cocaine damage, but there's loads of white lesions on my head. And he said, but I can't find any reason why you're getting these migraines. So we're gonna put you on a trial of I'm thinking new drug. Oh yeah, because none of the triptyline drugs worked for me. New drug. And it was this machine, right? The trial of a machine. And this is the proper NHS, right? And he said, and he was a brilliant man. He was a really brilliant man. He said, we are seeing amazing results with this machine, and it's pretty much recognised that this is probably the way forward in the treatment of migraines. It turns out it's the correct way to pronounce it. And we are very, very close to releasing this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this machine. And you know the defibrillators?
Yes.
It's like that, but for your head.
Oh my God, really?
Right? Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm sniffing, I do apologise. But it fires magnets into your brain. It fires like magnetic energy into your brain, right? So if you felt the early signs of a migraine, you're supposed to have this machine charged up all the time, and you'd get it, and you'd sit down, and you'd put these things sort of at the back of your head, and press a button, and it would charge, and then it'd go, and you do that like 3 or 4 times. You couldn't feel anything. and it got rid of migraines. Didn't get rid of mine at all. Had zero impact on me whatsoever. So I kept phoning them up and phoning the nurse up and going, it's not doing anything. And I was getting a lot of them at the time, like maybe 3 a week. Because it's not doing, he said, are you sure you're doing it right? Is it this? Is it that? I said, yeah. And after like 3 months, I gave it back to them and said, it's not working. And they said, wow, gosh, you're pretty much the only person we've had saying that this is having no impact. Now, this is because my migraines are special, obviously. But is anyone else who's had migraines? This was 10 years ago. Has anybody used one of these machines since? Because I don't really get migraines now anymore, touch wood. So I'm kind of out of that world. But are they now, does anyone know, are those machines now a thing, right? If you're a migraine sufferer, all this because we started talking about wonky eyes and a metal hat. If you're a migraine sufferer, do those machines work? Did they become like an industry standard? Because they gave it to me, I'm thinking, well, this looks like some crap that Facebook would tell me I need, because I typed in migraine into an email once. So I'm just asking, if anybody knows anything about magnets, doctors, and migraines, did those machines become part of the treatment? 0344 499 1000. Back to a wonky-eyed cat.
Potato the cat,
There we go.
34,000 followers on Instagram.
Instagram. You
Instagram.
said Instagram.
I know. The optical oddity was adopted by Ashley Norlin, who's 21, more than 2 years ago. And like many proud fur parents, she decided to upload some pics of her cat online. And that is when Potato got his first taste of fame. People immediately noticed something was different about his eyes, Norlin says. Yeah, you know what's different about his eyes? They look like those ones you get on cheap teddies.
Googly eyes.
Yeah, the ones that...
Googlies, yeah.
They protrude. The pupil is very marked.
Oh, they do look like
size.
teddy bear eyes,
Yeah,
don't
you know
they?
what I mean? Like it's as if if this cat's got glass eyes.
It's as if the when the teddy bear's eyes fall off and you cry and Nana says, oh, don't worry, love, I'll have something in my sewing box that'll fix it. Yeah, and they're too big. There you go.
There you go. That's what he looks like. He looks appalled all the time.
He looks like a sex offender.
Many social media which, as we know, tomcats tend to be. Disgusting.
Dirty bastards.
Many social media users were freaked out by the wall-eyed feline, posting cries of, is this cat broken?
I'll break your face in a minute, sister.
One Instagram...
I don't mean any violence towards any women whatsoever.
One Instagram gawker even analogized him to Insectosaurus, the googly-eyed grub from Monsters vs. Aliens.
What was it? What, internet user...
Instagram gawker.
Instagram hawker.
Gawker.
Instagram gawker. And androgynized. What were the words you said?
Analogized.
Jesus.
This is the New York Post. They're very highbrow.
Jesus.
Potato's flummoxed owner has no idea how her pet got the ocular aberration.
Oh, for God's
Check them out.
sakes.
Listen, the Mirror Online could take a...
No, don't give me none of this thesaurus bullshine.
I mean, they're writing complete sentences and everything.
I'm reading a brilliant book by the former lead singer of Shwaddy Waddy. They sent me his books. And it's brilliant. It's really funny about doing this sort of nightmare tour in 2005 of holiday camps and how it was just awful. It's very funny. But you do think, Dave, put down the thesaurus. I want to hear it in your words.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very funny read. They've sent me 2 books. I'm gonna sail through those, and once I've read those, we'll get Dave on the show.
I want that audiobook. I've just finished the audiobook of,
Ridgely.
Yeah, Andrew Ridgely.
You said it was a bit dull.
Well, he didn't really, for me, he didn't tell me anything necessarily surprising, and I found his pronunciation of certain words a little,
Go on.
well, he'd say things like, surreal.
So, surreal. So,
Surreal.
What was the single he did after
Oh, the album he did.
Son of Albert. What was the single from it?
It was called...
There's one here called Shake.
Yes, Shake is the one that was...
Can we have a listen?
Big in Australia, apparently.
Big in it, okay. Here we go. Andrew Ridgely, Shake. Here we go. Oh, wrong fader.
I'm gonna shake you, whip you off the friends in your heart.
Hang on a minute, that intro sounds familiar.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody's
got a body like you.
there's a slightly indie vibe to his voice.
You up friends in your heart.
Whip me for frenzy.
I'm gonna break you.
We should be careful as we try and get him on the shows, I guess.
You wish you'd loved me from the start. Yeah, like a rag doll, baby, I'm not gonna play you, shock you later then.
He has a ponytail in this video.
Does it?
Yeah, and Kath comes round to look. I think I can see a ponytail there. Oh, maybe it's bandana. Maybe.
I want you to love me like I love you.
Wait for the drop.
I'm gonna shake you. Rain down kisses on your pretty head. I'm gonna take you. Leave you lying naked on my bed.
Outrageous.
Too sexual for me. Too.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember when Take That all went their separate ways and Mark did his own stuff?
Yeah.
It's kind of pre-Mark Owen, Mark Owen.
No. Mark Owen stuff was incredible.
I'm not saying. Do you know what? Andrew Ridgely's book. It's unfair to call it dull. It just didn't tell me everything I really wanted to know.
Do you want to hear a great
but
song?
He never is going to tell you that.
This is a great song. I've seen him perform. I saw him perform this on Rise TV show. Yeah. I genuinely love this. Then he tells like little stories. He's going to tell a little story. Here we go. Because he went a bit sort of like Britpoppy, didn't he?
Yeah, he stopped bathing and stuff.
Go on.
Thing is, I find it off-putting that he sounds like my male cousins.
Okay. I think this is a great song. Earrings.
Blondie sings in her ear. You're a rock queen, honey, and we all need. Come on, it's time to go. Just a second, dust on your stereo.
My mum met Take That. They stayed in at the hotel she was working in. My sister was a massive Take That fan. We're talking bedroom walls covered in Take That posters. She was a Howard fan. She used to write these add to these incredible kind of round robin letters that used to go around. Fans that didn't know each other would pass it on to a friend, to a friend, to a friend. There would be like this amazing like pages and pages of stuff. She was she was a fan, a proper fan. And when my sister had a horrible car accident, Mum was working at this hotel and Take That came to stay. Yeah. And Mum was told they weren't allowed to talk to anyone and they mustn't be approached or anything. But Mum thought, bollocks to that, my daughter's just had a horrible accident and this is my one chance. So she got talking to Mark, and with his help, she got all their signatures on a get well card, and he was lovely.
And Mark wrote a song about your sister. Here it is. It's called Mark Owen, Believe in the Boogie, dedicated to your sister. That's a great line. From the Albert Hall to the Uni Ball, how the mighty fall. That's a great line. This is brilliant.
There's something of the Davy Jones about Mark.
There is a bit of the Davy Jones. I think it's time to reassess Mark Owen's solo career. Can you get? I'm gonna say something really silly here, and Lorraine will come to you in a second. We're gonna get the end of this story about this bloody cat. If it's the last, did we do it?
Well, I mean, no, there's more.
I wonder if there's a Mark. I'm just typing in the words Mark Owen, best of. I'm just typing in the words. Surprisingly, let's try again. Mark Owen, best of. Let me just try Mark Owen greatest hits. Because I tell you now, if there is a Mark Owen greatest hits, I would buy it. There isn't.
Did he do 2 albums?
Yep.
Buy 2 albums then, stop being tight.
I don't want the filler. I want the killer.
Paul Danan just followed me on Twitter.
Who else? Paul Danan?
Yeah.
There we go.
Exactly.
Can we finish this story about the cat, then we'll do the ads, then we're going to speak to our good friend Lorraine.
Potato's flummoxed owner has no idea how her pet got the ocular aberration.
She smacked him round the head with a bit of 2 before.
I don't know if it's some genetic condition, she says. Fortunately, others appreciated Potato's kooky eyes, saying, "My heart is melting!" and "I'm so in love with his eyes." And just like Dumbo's oversized ears, the kitty's once lampooned look has propelled him to stardom. Potato has racked up an eye-popping 34,252 Instagram followers and counting in less than 2 years. Even Norleen has started to embrace Potato's eyes. Oh, don't do that, it's bad for them.
Yeah.
Saying it sure does make a memorable look. Potato isn't the first pet to become a social media star due to a bizarre visage.
You're just going to list Grumpy Cat and all that.
Last month, the internet fell in love with these Cocker Spaniels' freakishly long eyelashes. Click here.
Don't click. You're falling down this is what they do. They've got you now by the horn.
Your poster's got me. Yeah.
They've got you by the horn. We've got the story of Potato Head.
This is Chloe and Nana, Italian puppies.
No, you're just right. We're gonna...
Oh, no, I'm watching an advert.
Okay.
Must buy Peloton.
Please hit the advert button, Amy. Thank you.
Experience the unconventional, the unpredictable, and the completely unorthodox.
Exactly.
With rule-free Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got no internet for the last 4 days.
On Talk Radio.
We are the mainstream media, and I love it. Let's go to Lorraine. Good evening, Lorraine.
Good evening to you both.
Hey, Lorraine.
Lorraine, how can we help you, or how can you help us?
No, I was just really interested in hearing about your migraine experience.
Oh yeah, go on.
I used to message you years ago about them when you had them terribly.
Yeah.
I still get them, and they're the bane of my life. They really are.
Did they offer you this magnet treatment?
Never ever heard of it.
It sounds like bullshit. So how do you cope with it then?
Mine are really bad when I'm stressed, and I've had a lot of stress over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
A lot of stress, like all the big changes, I've had them, and moving and dealing with parents passing away and all manner of things. And every time I get stressed, it just gives me these migraines. And I'm on sumatriptan.
That was it. That was the thing. That worked for me a little bit, but then it stopped working after a while.
Yeah, it's stopped working for me now. I have to take the double dose every time, and that makes it last. You get a migraine hangover, and if people haven't got them, they don't understand about, I don't know if you had it, I get the distortions, I can't see properly, and all that rubbish with
mine was I would see spots, I would see stars, and then I would when the migraine kicked in, I'd sort of go it was this weird blindness, right, where I couldn't see, but I could like walk if I couldn't really walk, but I could make my way to the bathroom, but I was kind of convinced that I was blind. It was a weird kind of thing. And the pain, it's the pain. My God, I have never experienced anything like it. If I had a gun, I would shoot myself in the head. That's not an exaggeration, because the pain is awful. And the only ways that would make me comfortable is I had to be somewhere really cold. So if it was the middle of the night, I would go and sit and open all of the windows, or sit in my car and put the AC on freezing, and I would have to contort into the most twisted positions. And I don't know what that contortion was doing, but my God, it's the pain, Lorraine. Oh, and I would get them from about the age of 8. And now I see it was stress, and now I'm not leading I am out of some of the most stressful situations. I haven't had one for a couple of years, but it was stress. And imagine being so stressed at 8, and you said you were as well, that you'd get a migraine like that your body, your brain, whatever, would do that to you.
Yeah, mine They thought I had epilepsy.
Right.
I got one. I remember it was a really hot day. I was dehydrated, and that triggered my first one.
Yeah.
The doctor mentioned epilepsy, and then I think I was convinced I had epilepsy, and I was stressed about it, and I was really worried. And
Just come a little bit closer to the mouthpiece, Lorraine, 'cause it's getting a little
Sorry.
bit... That's all right, don't worry.
That's better.
Yeah, so then you started worrying that you had epilepsy.
Exactly, and I didn't, but I was having like I used to pass out with them, so, because a youngster doesn't know what to do with the pain and can't cope. And I just used to pass out, and I had an ear piercing done 2 years ago, a special piercing on a pressure point.
Yeah.
When I had an absolutely awful one, and the relief was immediate. It felt like the pressure going, and it worked for a year, and then my mum passed away last year, and it still built.
Brought it all back.
It built up again, yeah.
Do you throw up with your migraines?
If I do, it goes more or less straight away if I do.
Funny?
And that's what I used to have the spray and the injections,
Right.
and I used to do the spray, and I would throw up immediately. But it's just the thought of throwing up when you're like that, and it feels like your brain's come loose, and every time you move your head, your brain's rattling
See,
around.
the throwing up wouldn't make me feel better. Normally, if you got like an upset stomach, you throw up and you feel better. But for me, the migraines, I would throw up, but I'd be throwing up, not feeling better after, and also being sick with that pain going on at the same time. What was great for me is I knew it was coming to an end, is I would start shivering. My whole body would just start shaking and shivering, and I think, oh, thank God it's coming to an end. And about 5 minutes after that, I'd just have a really bad headache, which I could cope with.
Yeah.
It's torture. It's torture.
Yeah.
And people who don't have it just don't, it's not a headache. It's not, the only connection between that and a headache is it's in your head, but it ain't a headache, man. It's like comparing, a sprained wrist to being paralyzed. It's just completely different.
Yeah, it really, it depresses me, because if I make plans to go out and I wake up in the morning, and even without opening my eyes, I know I'm going to have one. I can just feel it. It's like creeping up. It's just like, here I am, and you can't do a darn thing about it.
I've turned down jobs because I was worried I'd get a migraine. I turned down jobs, and I remember I was really worried. I hadn't had one for a while, but I was really worried I was going to get one when I did I'm a Celebrity. I thought, God, what happens?
Oh, yeah.
If I get, and I was building myself up into a state where I was almost inducing one, because I was really worried. But I've turned down jobs abroad and stuff years ago because I was worried that I'd get a migraine and would just be useless to anyone.
I can understand that totally. Yeah.
You have my sympathy. Lorraine, and I hope that you find some more tricks and, things that work for you and give you a little bit of freedom. I am 2 or 3 years free of migraines, so I genuinely think that there is, I don't know how I did it. I think it was getting away from stress really, but I hope you get that freedom that I've got.
No, I'm pleased for you. Yeah, I've got my fingers crossed too.
Wicked. Me too, Lorraine. I really hope it works out for you. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Bye. You found the machine.
Yeah.
It's a big, I had it slightly wrong. It's not two things. It's like a big grey thing you hold on the back of your head.
Handles that you hold at the side. This is from 2014. The Mail Online. Hope for migraine sufferers as gadget that zaps pain with the push of a button is approved.
Yeah. Oh.
NICE has approved the portable transcranial magnetic device for use. The hairdryer-sized gadget sends electrical pulses to the brain to short-circuit the electrical storm that causes the symptoms of a migraine. After a single zap, 40% of patients remain pain-free for at least 2 hours. 29% stay without pain for at least 24 hours, and patients can now be referred for treatment with the device by their GP.
Oh, only 40%? I thought it was higher than that. They kind of implied to me that I was the anomaly by not having any relief.
Well, it talks about this controlled trial, saw 164 migraine patients treated with a single transcranial magnetic stimulation, and 39% were pain-free 2 hours later. In a separate study, 3/4 of patients with migraine who were treated repeatedly with the transcranial magnetic device had a reduction in headache frequency, even those with chronic migraine.
That was me. I got to keep it for a few months, and but it didn't work. Isn't that fascinating? I had one at work when we worked at the BBC, and it was on a Saturday because I would do a show in Birmingham. This is when we were working in Luton. I would do a show in Birmingham, and then I would drive to Elstree to host a Big Brother show. But so quite often what I would do is I would do the Birmingham show, but in the studio in Luton, and you'd be put in this tiny little studio, and so I'm doing this show, and I've got a headache. I think it's just a headache, and I took some Nurofen. I thought, it's a headache, I can get through it. And then 5 minutes into the show, I thought, this is not a headache, this is a migraine, I'm screwed. And I tried to get through it, got about 20 minutes into it, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna die. And so I'm messaging the team in Birmingham saying, I cannot do this, I'm dying. I literally said I'm dying, which they thought was hilarious. And I was asking, there was a guest on, I remember, I said to the guest, so what happened next? And I just asked that, and I pressed the mute button, and I threw up into the bucket, and then I came back and went, aha, muted, bleh. Luckily they found another host in Birmingham that could do the show, and then was it Carol?
No, it was Gail.
Gail, one of the people who worked there, got a phone call from my wife saying, I'm worried about Iain, and she came down, and I'm there topless, because I'm trying to get cold, and I'm in that kind of, that slightly palsied position where you have your arms and your hands curled up. I was like that. And she said, are you alright? I said, I'm fine, I just need to sit here for the next couple of hours. It was horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Dave's on the line. Good evening, Dave.
Hello, Iain. Just talking about that device.
Yes.
I think it's called a gamma core.
Oh, go on.
And, because I suffer from cluster headaches.
Those, have I got it right? Cluster headaches are also known as suicide headaches.
Yeah, they are.
Because people kill themselves because it's so painful that they that they take their own lives.
Well, I've seen it mentioned loads of times that they're one of the worst pains known to man.
Yeah. Oh, I've read about it. I'm so grateful I never got those.
Yeah, well, currently I'm not in a cluster at the moment, but I was earlier this year. They do come in bouts, like clusters. And you're right saying it's because of the word headache, people just don't really understand.
Yeah, take a few pills and you'll be all right. Come back in half an hour. And no. This is and we're not playing top trumps here, but from what I have read, you think a migraine's bad. Cluster headache is supposed to be way beyond that. How often do you get them, Dave?
Well, when I'm in a cluster, you get them every day, or you might get several every day, or worst cases you'll get a dozen in a day, and you can only use those sumatriptan injections.
Right.
You can only use 2 of those a day because it's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 tanks of oxygen, and you breathe in pure oxygen.
Does that help? Because I remember, I had to, we called out an ambulance once when I had a migraine, and they gave me oxygen, and that didn't do a lot for me, but that helps, does it?
Oh, it does, yeah, it helps me. There are some people who, the sumatriptan, eventually wears out, and even on some strong attacks, I'll be on the oxygen for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and it's still got the headache,
Mate.
It's,
do you have a trigger? Do you know what causes them?
There's maybe certain, odours, like there's, strong smells, like there's some cleaning products.
Yeah.
Might do it, or some people get petrol.
Really?
Alcohol can be a trigger for me as well.
What, drinking or smelling?
There's drinking for me.
And what you're saying, if you smell like Dettol or something, that can set you off?
Well, maybe not. With certain, like strongly, volatile, whatever they are, chemicals and stuff.
Blimey. Yeah. Dave, listen, we have to go. We're at the end of the show, but thank you so much for sharing that. And again, as the same with our last caller, I got my fingers crossed that you get an extended period of freedom from them.
Well, hopefully, yeah. They're tailed off. When I first got them, they were just awful, terrible, but they are tailing off, so hopefully I'll get some fingers crossed.
Dave, thank you very much. I remember a doctor telling me, and I've heard it from people, you can grow out of migraines. You kind of get to your early 40s and they can.
Evening, Daryl.
Good evening.
Thank you for rescuing my computer.
Oh, you're very welcome. I did panic for you. I panicked because I thought there's nothing worse than getting home and realising you've left your charger.
They're bloody expensive, those.
They are as well.
But it meant I couldn't do any work on my computer, which was great.
Good, yeah.
So good. 5830, young man.
My ex-girlfriend's mum used to get migraines, and she used to get them whenever she travelled, and she lived in Berkshire, and she used to come and travel to see us in Manchester, where we lived in Manchester. And every time she travelled, every time she drove up the country, she used to get a migraine, and she used to come, spend 3 days in bed, and then go back home again.
Oh.
Horrible, that, isn't it?
It is.
I did wonder if maybe it was me. After a while.
Manchester is a shithole. I'm joking, this is Talk Radio!
Set free your mind. Let your fancy take flight. Conversation gets curiouser by the glow of moonlight.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.